Hello, Orville Nation. Hello, Troy Pacelli. Hello, Stephen Klein. Hello, Joe. Joe's in the chat and on the panel. Hello, Axonar Comics. Hello, the Smoke, Eric the Smoke. He's both in the chat and in the panel. Angeles.
Hello, Axonar Comics.
Hello, everybody. LDG. Hello, Trey. Let me just take care of something, guys. One sec. All right. Welcome, everybody. We have an amazing panel, guys. We have an amazing panel. I know everybody's been waiting for this we were waiting for the release of A Planetary Step, and now we can finally sit down and interview the cast and crew, most of the cast and crew. So I want to introduce, ladies first, I want to introduce one of the stars of the Planetary Step, Joe Colton. Welcome, Joe.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's such an honor to have you here. I want to introduce the director and the owner of J1 Studios, Jason Richardson. Welcome, Jason. It's an honor.
Hey, how's it going?
Honor, guys. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric the Smoke Moran. Hello, Eric.
How's it going, PJ? Awesome to be here, finally, to be on Orville Nation.
It's such an honor to have you guys here. For us, we're a tiny, small channel, but we're a strong Orville community, and for us to have you guys here, everybody's excited. We saw people were waiting in the chat for like way before we even started, so that's indicative of how excited everybody is. How is everybody going? How are you guys all handling the confinement? How's everything going for you guys?
I've been doing great. I'll let Joe go first. Ladies first. What about you, Joe?
I've been doing several projects around the house. I got my fiance to repaint our kitchen. And just doing like little projects here and there, and building costumes, and reading a lot. And yeah, just housework. Planting gardens. Why not?
Great time to read, by the way. I'm trying to tell my kids that. Awesome. What about you, Jason?
Just working behind the scenes on a bunch of different projects. I have my game that I'm working on that's in development. VT Heroes is like my Power Ranger influenced fighting card game. Trying to get all that together, and I got a new.
You're gonna have to tell us a little bit about that later.
Yeah, and I have a newborn now that's crying. Well, not crying right now, thank God.
Oh, congratulations. Wow. Boy or girl?
Thank you.
Okay. That's great.
Boy or girl, Jason?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, it's a boy. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so his name's Jonathan Parker Richardson.
Congratulations. Wow. That's pretty cool, Jason. Wow. Congratulations, Dad. Wow. Eric, how have you been handling everything? I love your background, by the way, Eric.
Thank you. Well, I've been handling everything day by day. I haven't gone crazy. I haven't drove my wife crazy yet. Been playing nothing but video games, doing a lot of writing since we put out the debut of the fan film for the Orville fan film. I have been sitting down and doing a lot of writing, a lot of character development for the characters for the upcoming series, and just devoting myself to that and working on cosplays, working on different costumes. So this abundance of stuff to keep my mind going and to stay motivated. That's the most important thing.
Wow. Yeah, and I didn't realize we were just doing a little, as we were getting ready, but backstage we were just kind of just introducing ourselves to each other because we haven't met, and the only person I kind of know is JP, who's unfortunately can't be here, but I'm amazed at what you guys have got going on everywhere. So Joe, why don't you tell us, so everybody gets to know you a little bit? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do? I think the only thing some of the things people have seen is just indicative of just from the Planetary Step.
Okay.
Some people have seen on Twitter that you do some cosplay too, but tell us about yourself.
So I started cosplaying when I was younger, but it was only like just delving into the cosplay and making costumes. I used to make costumes with my mom, but in 2009 I became quite addicted to it, and now it's kind of like every month I make 1 or 2 costumes. I do commission work. I design costumes, like original designs. And then I also have done commission work for actors or actresses that are on the convention circuit. And so they have to get their costumes replaced from the original. And I make screen accurate costumes. So in addition to that, I am part of the Finest, a G.I. Joe costume club. And we do a lot of charity work for veterans. Every year we do a calendar. And so we collect money and provide a calendar, T-shirts, challenge coins, things like that. And
before I forget, did you make did you design the uniforms for the movie, or
for which movie?
For the Planetary Step?
Oh, yeah. Well, some of us bought our costumes. I altered my costume, and I did makeup for the actors on the Planetary Step. So. Okay.
Wow. Now, tell us about this. By the way, I love the name of your podcast. Tell us about that.
It's actually a G.I. Joe focus podcast. It's not a podcast of what's on my mind. But people sometimes get confused with that. It's a G.I. Joe focus podcast. We talk about the figures, the movies, what else? The cartoon, Hasbro, anything to do with G.I. Joe, basically.
How cool is that? Wow. And tell us a little bit about your commercials, by the way, too. I'm going to post a few of them.
Okay. So I've done fan films with Eric for years now and haven't thoroughly enjoyed them. He's always a great director and has great ideas. So I've had fun with that. And I've done several Think Geek commercials. At one point, I was dressed as a Klingon, teaching Klingon to my son. And that turned out to be an April Fool's joke for the fans. But if they ever create that Klingon alphabet, trust me, they will make it big.
Wow, awesome. Thank you, Joe. And I'm sure there's stuff you're forgetting to tell us because you guys are. Jason, what about you? Tell us about J1 Studios. I want to learn so much more about it, and maybe we can have you back another day just so you can tell us about J1.
Sure. J1 Studios is an entertainment hub that covers just about everything in pop culture, from gaming to comic books, movies. We do reviews and news on various pop culture subjects, but what makes us different is that we also have content that we create. Like, we have novels that you can buy on Amazon, whatever. There are different like urban fantasy stories. We have comic books, manga. We have video game remix albums that are free on the site if you wanted to download them. We have all different types of stuff, different content that we create, as well as right now we're on hold because of everything, but we had a clothing line, so shipping is iffy. And we also are a game development company now.
Oh, you want to tell us about that game you're working on? What was the title again?
VT Heroes.
VT Heroes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, VT Heroes.
What is that?
This is actually one of the helmets from one of the prop helmets for the live action that we did a live action. We were going to do a series of live action stuff, but one of them was a commercial. It's very 90s style, where it's a oh, thanks, man.
And he knows about Mando knows about helmets.
I get that. One of the things is it's totally an homage to the 90s era. I was a big Power Rangers fan, and I wanted to make my own spin-off of that whole tokusatsu genre. And so I decided to make a fighting card game where you build your own hero based on your color of your uniform, your element that you use, and your spirit animal. So you could be like the blue ice spider, or like the red fire wolf, and you fight one-on-one like a fighting game, like Street Fighter or however, but it's in a fast-paced card game that you can take with you on the go.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And then one of the people like Eric over here jumped in on the live action side of things, and I did a total 90s style commercial that's like kids are playing in the backyard, and they're playing the card game, and as they're playing, the character that they're controlling is actually fighting in this like jungle area, like fighting amongst each other. And people have been loving it, and now I'm working with Common Ramen Studios and Art School Dropouts. They're like a Power Ranger martial arts stunt team, and they started putting together fighting shorts of my characters, like my heroes, like fighting, like doing all this awesome martial arts, and it's really cool being on set, seeing my drawings come to life.
Wow, I can bet. Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. So you're going to have to tell us more about that some other day. That's amazing. We want to hear all about J1 Studios. Is there anything else you want to share with us, Jason, before we, get going with?
Hey, if everything is going well, come on down.
Jason, we want to know more. Oh my
God.
Come on down to November to Atlantic City and enjoy J1 Con.
That's it. That's what I wanted you to talk about. Yeah. By the way, Jason, but we should talk about that, because there are we've been looking for events to support in the New York City area, even though it's not New York City, it's pretty close. So we should talk about how we can support you with all that.
Yeah. I'm loving all the support I've been getting lately from a lot of people, because for people from like Warner Brothers, people in the local scene, like everybody's coming together because they like the idea of having a face to a convention that's like, it's more like personable. And like, I've worked with Joe and I've worked with Eric forever. Like these are my ride or dies. And they've watched me take this convention that was in a rec center with like maybe like 50 people to like, now it's at the Showboat in Atlantic City. And like, I don't know what to do with 100,000 square feet, but I got it. Like,
wow.
So
don't worry, you'll grow into it and then out of it.
Yeah.
Very true, Joe.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, it's a lot. It's awesome, but I'm loving all the support I've been getting throughout the years of people just going like, yeah, I love going to J1, and it's a small con, it's like small, medium-sized con, but I try to give things.
But what kind of attendance did you guys have last year?
What was that?
What kind of attendance did you have last time?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's usually around a couple thousand people that come out every time.
That's great, Jason. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
wow.
no, I love it. I appreciate it. Like I'm not one. I don't care if it gets like huge or if it goes smaller, as long as it's like stays fun. And I always try to keep it affordable. And I don't do like those weird lotteries for vendor tables and all that stuff. Like, I want it to be very organic. You buy a table, you're at the con. You know
what's interesting about Atlantic City? Let me just say that the hotels are very affordable.
Yeah. And because I've made the deal with the Showboat, the hotel rates are always like super cheap. Like, I think it was like $100 a night or something like that last year. So people were like, oh yeah, I could do this. And then the con tickets are like $40-$50 for the whole weekend.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. Take it from us. We know, we've been guests on this show, so we know.
Yeah, wow, that's great. I also noticed I get a sense that the three of you are very close too. Am I right, Eric? Are you guys?
Oh yeah. I mean, all of us we go back a lot of years. So I mean, for Jason
Like
and
decade.
well over a decade, and for Jason,
Well, you and him over a decade.
yeah,
Oh, we've known each other since the 90s.
more than a decade for Jason and I, but for Joe and I, it's like almost a decade. But definitely for Jason and I, it's way over a decade. We got a picture Jason posted like not too long ago. And it was me and Jason back in like the early 90s. And he was at one of my wrestling shows. He was helping out behind the scenes of one of my wrestling shows when I was wrestling. And we were laughing because we were like, man, look, I had hair.
And then in the picture, I didn't have hair.
Yeah, he had like a little afro or whatever. But it's really cool to see your friends excel and move up the ladder, and they're paying their dues. For all three of us, we've been paying our dues for a long time and showing our love. And we've had our ups and downs, but we've all remained still on the course of what we want to do and pursuing what we love.
Wow. Eric, can I show a picture that I'm seeing of you as a wrestler?
Yeah,
can I share that?
Yes, please.
Let's see.
Is this with hair?
Yeah, probably so. Of course, with hair. Are you kidding me?
This is you, right? Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. You'll put up a picture of The Rock. I'm gonna be like, no, that's The Rock.
Well, it says it's you, at least on Google. Let's see.
Eric, okay. Eric the Smoke Moran wrestling. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Tons of stuff coming up.
Yeah. This is you. Okay. Let's
there's a picture of me and The Rock together. And everybody's like the smoking. They're like, holy crap. So,
really? Okay. Wow. Yeah. Let's see. You want to tell us about this picture?
Oh, that's my when I first won the first world champion. I was the first world champion for NWA cyberspace, NWA Shockwave. It was back in the like early 2000s when I first became world champion. I had been prior to that, I was a tag team champion and an intercontinental champion, but that was my first actual world title that I won for NWA Shockwave. And it was a sister company of TNA at the time. And so we worked with a lot of the big names from Jeff Jarrett to Abyss to I worked with personally with Jazz and Rodney Mack. We had a little group and everything. So it was one of the highlights of my wrestling career during that time and all. So I had a lot of fun.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I got to tell you, Eric, that there's a lot of people in the chat who didn't know this side of you, and I think they're going to just be even more fans right now.
Well, like I said, I was wrestling. A lot of people are just finding out that I was on Jenny Jones. I did an appearance on Jenny Jones for Hot Celebrity Lookalikes, and I went on because my resemblance to The Rock. For The Rock and I, when he had the sideburns and I had the sideburns, we did same time. And so there's a picture out there that's floating on the internet. There's two different pictures of me and Dwayne Johnson together. And there's one when we were younger and we were sitting side by side, almost wearing the exact same shirts. And then there's one of us at a red carpet event for Gridiron Gang. And we're both and so it's, but yeah, for Hot Celebrity Lookalikes, it was one of the highest rated episodes for the Jenny Jones show during that time. And a lot of people remember when they remember that episode and they're like, oh my God, that was you. And it's funny because people still remember and talk about that episode. So, and that opened a lot of doors for me also. And it got me my first movie break when I did my first film. So it opened a lot of doors for me, and it opened so many more after that and stuff. So it was a blessing. It was definitely a blessing.
Wow. Is this one of the pictures you're talking about? Let's see. Is this one of the pictures you're talking about? And by the way, guys, I really want people to get to know you guys because the more they know you, the better. The better they'll understand your work. That's why I want to,
and to be honest,
the three of you.
I was looking forward to coming on the show. I was definitely looking forward to coming on the show. So, I mean, more than anything, because I'm an Orville fan, just like the rest of everyone out there. So to be able to be a part of it, that's the red carpet event with me and Dwayne Johnson.
Oh wow, great picture! Wow, wow. You hear that, guys, in the chat?
Well, it was funny when Dwayne and I met the first time. This is an earlier picture. When he and I met the first time, I remember people were tripping because we looked so much alike, and they were like, "Oh, your brother, your cousin is here." And the one thing he always told me, he was like, "You know, this thing is not going to last forever. As a pro wrestler, it's not going to last forever. Find something to reinvent yourself. Always come up with something to reinvent yourself." And that always stood in the back of my mind. So I've always found a way to be motivated to reinvent myself, and expanded from being a pro wrestler to being a writer, from being an actor, director, for being a TV host. It opened a lot of floodgates for me. So I've always kept that in the back of my mind, always.
Yeah, I totally see people, you guys being related. Yeah, people thinking that. Yeah. Steven says, does he still have that belt hanging in his
Matter
home?
of fact, if you look, wait, let me see if I can bring the camera up. If you look right there, yep, I still got the belt right here.
Oh, wow.
That will always hold a special place because I broke my neck, not literally broke my neck, but I earned my stripes earning that belt. And once you become a champion, doesn't matter if you lose it down the road or what have you, which I did eventually, but that was something that I will always have in the books, that I was a world champion. And so
Wow.
that will always hold a special place in my heart.
That is so cool, Eric. Wow. Wow, amazing. Guys, before we move on, I wanted to, you guys are okay on time, by the way. We didn't talk about it.
yeah.
You guys are okay?
Definitely good.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
If anybody needs to step out, or baby's crying, go ahead and take care of it, whatever you got to do.
No, I'm really good.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk real quick about some of the people who are not here. Do you want to mention, first of all, everybody who's involved in the production who is not here with us today?
Yeah. First, I want to give a shout out to my boy JP from Eagletastic Fun Time. I got to give a shout out for him first and foremost, because JP really helped make sure that the script stayed on the course. I had my buddy Brian Terranova. I've sent some of our collaborated Doctor Who stuff. Brian Terranova has a production company called Terra Solo Pictures, and he and I had worked together years prior in doing our Doctor Who Legacy series. It was Doctor Who and Torchwood, and we got so much positive feedback that BBC America considered us a continuation of Torchwood when Torchwood went off the air. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And so we had a large fan base within the Doctor Who community. So working with Brian and coming back into the fold with Brian and helping me work on the script, and then having JP, because I was a strong fan of JP and Eagletastic Fun Time, because Eagletastic Fun Time to me promoted nothing but positivity within not just the Orville community, but within the pop culture realm. And he made it very welcome. When he would do his show, he would always make you feel welcome. It never felt like he was one-sided. He was always open to hearing everyone's side, but he made it a lot of fun. And he had a love and a passion for the Orville just like I do. And so when I reached out to JP last year, I was doing a lot of correspondence with him, and I was like, look, how would you feel about making a cameo in my Orville fan film? And he was like, dude, I'm there. Let me know what you want to do and all. And we talked for a good while. We would talk about our love for anything in pop culture and science fiction and everything else under the sun. And it just clicked. Now, mind you, me and JP physically never met in person, but we coordinated so much online and talking and everything on the phone and Skyping and all. We had so much good interaction that when JP and I, when we looked over the script, JP gave me his input. We wanted to make sure we stayed in tune to the series. We wanted to make sure we did not miss a beat with the series. Between Brian Terranova with his writing, having JP's technical advice and his wisdom on it. I always talk about JP's wisdom, and him also being one of the cast members, and then flash it over to Jason. And then also Lamont Abrams, who was also our director of photography. He also played a large part. Lamont Abrams, who has Serious Photo, he's my photographer. He's been my photographer for well over a decade. And we do private photo shoots for a lot of cosplayers that can't afford a professional photographer. We've been doing this. It's been called finally SmokeCon. So I've had a lot of cosplayers at my house, and we do an all-day session, and we have photo shoots, and all the pictures are free. And so,
Wow,
so
that's amazing, Eric.
Lamont has helped me on prior projects, film projects. So to bring him in on this was like a blessing. Also to collaborate with Jason, and also the gentleman who played as the Admiral, my buddy John Royster. John, if you want to talk about one of my oldest friends, John is like a big brother. John and my brother were in drama. My oldest brother, we're in drama school together. John Royster, and John has known me since I was like 3 years old. So John is like my big brother, surrogate big brother. But he's been my right hand man when I've done shows. He's always been my handler when I come to doing cosplay events and all. And he's looked out for always my best interest. I wanted him eventually in one of my films. So what better way but to have him play as the Admiral? And he played it to the hilt. So I was very happy. So those are the unsung heroes that have not been seen that much, but we talk about a lot. So definitely have to give them a shout out.
Wow. And I do want to ask, so we're talking about people who are not here. I do want to ask also, because you guys have, dedicated obviously this first film to Aaron, and do you want to share a little bit about what your relationship is?
Yeah. Aaron Eisenberg from D Space Nine, he played as Nog. Aaron and I've known Aaron well over 10 years. I met Aaron years ago back here in Philadelphia. We did a show here, a video game show, and instantly Aaron and I, because I was a fan of Aaron's at first, Aaron and I clicked and we became good friends. And throughout the years, we kept in contact and all. So last year was the first time in forever, ever, that I went to Las Vegas for Las Vegas Star Trek with Joe. And we went out there. I got a chance to catch up with Aaron. Aaron was going to be coming here to Philadelphia for Great Philadelphia Comic-Con. And so I wanted him to have his podcast show here, The Seventh Rule, with him and Sirach and Ryan Tuss. And they were going to do a show. We promoted the show. We were going to have Aaron here. Unfortunately, when Aaron's untimely passing, it kind of really struck me hard, because Aaron and I were in the same age range and everything else. And it really struck me hard because, again, on a personal note, there were some things that were happening behind the scenes that Aaron really appreciated. And we were getting some things, and we were going to do some stuff here in Philadelphia. So when he passed, it kind of really caught me off guard. It was kind of sudden. And so during the time, and I was going. So
did he know that you guys were doing this then?
No, during the time, and that was the thing. During the time, I didn't have that on my mind at the moment. I was just trying to figure out. I had ideas of that I wanted to do an Orville fan film, but when Aaron passed, I kind of went through a depression, because I go through depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress. I deal with all that, and so when he passed, it kind of hit a chord with me, because it's just like life is too short. And I sat back and I was working on this treatment for a planetary step. And as I'm writing, I'm thinking about Aaron. I'm thinking about the course of the choices I made in my life, how, my family and all. And I wanted to do something proper to show my appreciation to Aaron and do a tribute to Aaron. And as I thought about it some more, I said, you know what? I wanted to do something in remembrance of him, because there were a lot of people that wanted him to be. He was going to be Captain Nog. They were talking about it in the documentary piece.
I know.
And
right?
so it really struck a chord with me. So I was like, you know what? What better way to honor Aaron is to name the ship that I'm going to be captain of after him, the USS Eisenberg. And what a beautiful tribute, Eric. That's beautiful. I think everybody loves it. Yeah, and it really hit me. And then between that and then the artists, we had Angela McCondrick, who did the artwork for the first poster for Planetary Step. And then I had legendary artists from Marvel DC Comics, Chris Cross, who did the official feature poster, which basically he did all the detail work on the ship and made sure that Aaron's, the Eisenberg would be right front and center of the poster. Showing total homage to him, and with Chris Cross's artwork and bringing everyone to life on the poster and all, that really spoke in volumes. I think for me, when we did the episode, you hear JP doing his narration, especially at the end. And when we wrote it, I didn't realize how much it was going to affect me at the very end. As I walk off and I decide to finally, my character wants to become a captain, and he makes a decision. And you hear JP doing the narration. He's playing as Alex, and he does the narration. And then he says he finally deserves his self-worth. And we fade to black, and we show the tribute. Yeah, it's kind of like a tear moment, because Jason and his editing skills, he just kind of put that all together. And I'm like, okay, is it all right to kind of get a little feels on at the end of my thing? So it was really an emotional send-off. It was really an emotional send-off for me to show my paying my respects to Aaron, and like I said again, I always will appreciate the friendship. I mean, I was lucky enough to be able to have breakfast with him and his wife while I was down in Vegas, and we had a good time. We laughed it up. We talked about a lot of stuff. So, and his wife loved the poster and everything else. So again, it was something major that I wanted to show my appreciation for Aaron.
Yeah. We have a question here, Eric, from Stephen Klein. Was Aaron a fan of the Orville? What did he think about the Orville?
I know he liked it. We never got into too deep of a discussion about it, because everything that was happening at the time, I know we were going to go get into it more when he was going to be here for Philly at Great Philadelphia Comic-Con. I was going to talk to him more about it in detail. But I know he did like it, because they had a lot of the Star Trek alum appearing on the show. So I do know he did know about it, and he did like it. We never got a chance to really get into a deep conversation about it, but I do know that he did like it. He liked the whole premise of it.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for, thanks for filling us, in on that, because I know a lot of people were curious about a lot of what you shared about a lot of people behind the scenes, and about Aaron and about JP and funny,
because if you look at the documentary, The Making of a Planetary Step, there's a picture, and one of the funny, me and Aaron always do crazy pictures, and one of the pictures I want to show off at the end of the documentary, Aaron has me in a headlock, because of course I'm 6'3.5". Aaron is at 4'11", and he's put me. We always are doing something where he's put me in a headlock or something like that. Always joking around and stuff. So we were doing. There's a picture that's out there where he and I are doing body slamming each other and stuff. It's funny. So we like I said again, Aaron was definitely a character, man. Loved him to death when he was joking around and bust my chops every chance he got.
Were you ever on the Seventh Rule with him on that podcast?
Yeah. Matter of fact, right before I left for Las Vegas, I appeared on the Seventh Rule, talking about being my first time going to Star Trek Vegas, and we were talking about that and talking about my Star Trek fan films I did and everything else. And so it was cool because Aaron was like, "Yeah, we're going to get you on the show. We got to get you on the show and stuff." So that was very cool. That was very cool.
Wow. Yeah, we interviewed Ryan a few weeks ago. Actually,
yeah, Ryan is a great guy. Ryan's a cool dude.
He is. I gotta say, that was probably I gotta say it was one of the best interviews we had done. He's so easy to interview. Yeah, and he's so sharing, and it was a great interview.
Yeah, and he makes you feel comfortable right at home, especially because he didn't know I was wrestling. He was like, "I didn't know you wrestled, and what was that like?" and everything. So it was really engaging, really a lot of fun and everything else. And he definitely supports what we've been doing and stuff. He showed a lot of love to our film and everything. So that really made me feel good to know that we did it right.
Wow. Okay. So all right. So let's get to the film. And I got to address the elephant in the room, because the chat, when you guys, we our community goes on different streams, on our stream and on our Latchcomb stream and all kinds of streams. And the one comment that keeps coming up is, "That was really good. What a huge tease, Eric." Did you guys?
Okay. Well, can I answer this, guys? Can I answer this one, guys?
Yeah. Right ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me explain something to you. As someone who's done a lot of fan films, I have learned that when you start off, you give the audience a little taste to see how well they react. If they like it, then you give them more. I did not want to tip my own hat because, again, the Orville is very special to me, just like a lot of the fans out there. Orville is very special to me for a lot of different reasons, not because Seth MacFarlane, who was a Star Trek fan, who had played on Star Trek, but he was paying a lot of homage to the Next Generation, Star Trek as a whole. I am a big fan of Seth MacFarlane as well. And, we come from the same generation, so I get a lot of his inside jokes and all. So I wanted to do, at first, I wanted to do a fan film that was going to make sure that we had all the beats. And just to give the taste to the audience, just to see how well it was received. And I think that was the biggest concern at first that Brian Terranova brought to my attention. He was like, "Are you sure you don't want to make this longer?" And I'm like, "No, because I don't want to tip our hat. If we go too long, I don't want to seem like I'm being cocky. I want to be able to just tell a straightforward story, introducing 2 or 3 of the lead or 4 of the lead characters that are going to be playing elements within the series." Once we got the feedback from the audience, most of it, I say a good 95% of it positive, and the rest was very helpful. As far as, I don't look at negative comments as a hindrance. I look at it as a help to me because it's going to make me and the rest of the cast and crew do a better job. So I never look at anything as a negative comment. I look at it as a positive. So when I'm hearing all the comments, I'm like, okay, now we're going to go full stream. Now I'm going to pull up the heavy guns. I did that with the Doctor Who series. When we started out, we did maybe a 3-minute shorter film. And then every episode got bigger and longer to a point where we built up our fan base. So what I wanted to do was make sure you guys had something to talk about. So when we do in the next episode, it's going to be a lot longer. We're going to have a lot more characters. It's going to be on a larger scale, not over the top, but enough just for you to want more, for you to want to come back, and to fill that gap until the Orville comes back on Hulu, when it comes on Hulu. But for right now, we're like looking to do something to give fans, and we're hoping also to encourage other people that want to do within the Orville ranks. Still, we can have different stories to tell within the Orville universe. So that's very important to me also. We have another gentleman, Vance. He did also Orville fan film, which I didn't know about until less than 24 hours before we debuted. And Vance was on my friends list, but I never knew he did a fan film. So Vance,
we actually showed that. We showed it here a couple of months ago on Orville
Vance
Nation.
Vance and I have been talking about collaborating and him being a part and making an appearance and all that. And even some of the people that I've worked on other Star Trek projects with from my other fan films, to bring them in, to have them make appearances or make cameos or what have you. Again, there's so many possibilities, and it's going to be so much fun. It's a sandbox to do so much. And also, again, encouraging other people out there, all you guys out there, to do fan film shorts or fan films as a whole. We want people to tell stories within the Orville universe. And this is our starting point.
Yeah, I gotta say, definitely you have definitely inspired people. Let me say too that Menard that's very interesting. I mean, Vance has almost a cult following now lately. So that's very interesting, Eric. That's a great idea. Wow. And I do agree with you. It makes sense to give people a little bit. So did you feel the love when you gave us that initial? Did you feel the love?
It was really something when we debuted it. First off, when we debuted it, we were building up. So between Jason, myself, Joe, everyone, JP, we all were like building this up, and we were doing a lot of promoting within PJ, we were promoting a lot within the Orville community. And I was reaching out, and we had some of the producers, some of the executive producers that got wind of what we were doing. And next I know, Tom Consolino asked, "Hey, can I feature your poster for your fan film?" And I was like, hell yeah, please. That'll be an honor.
I saw that.
And so now we have people from the producer end of the Orville checking us out, and we're pretty sure some of the actors of the cast hopefully got a chance to check us out. Most importantly, Seth. The one footnote a lot of people don't know is a year or 2 years ago, when I first got my Orville Planetary Union uniform, I posted it and sent it to Seth, and Seth took my picture and retweeted it on his page. And everybody was like, you need to get this guy on the show. And I was reading some of the comments, and it was funny as heck, but they were like, you need to have this guy on the show. So for me to see that, I was like, okay, I need to probably do a fan film. And it was always in the back of my mind, but I'm like, I really need to do one. Then I talked to Joe, but then watching JP and watching Egotastic Fun Time, that was the thing that set me off in the direction of wanting to do an Orville fan film. Then when Aaron's passing, I was like, okay, I got the story I want to write, but I want to do also a tribute to Aaron. And I'm like, I want to do this. I can do this. And it just kind of took off from there.
Wow. Guys, I do want to keep this very positive because we are very positive, but we also do critique. So I want to ask the three of you about Stephen Klein's question. What do you guys think about the current state of Star Trek? If you got, unless you don't want to comment.
I'll comment, but I'll wait for Joe. I'll wait for Joe to say it.
Joe, go ahead, Joe.
The current state of Star Trek. I love seeing Star Trek on TV again. I like seeing the multiples of Star Trek. I like the new movies because it got younger people interested in Star Trek again. It was talked about. It was researched. Then they go back and they watch older shows, TOS, TNG, Voyager, DS9. So all sci-fi is good sci-fi. Now, don't get me wrong. There are episodes or half a season or whatever that is not as strong. And all shows have their ups and downs. Like, it's not going to be constantly up to here. But as long as fans support, they will get better and stronger and continue to have sci-fi. So I love all of it. I'll take 24 hours of Star Trek, Orville, any sci-fi. Just give it to me. Even guilty pleasures, like really bad sci-fi. I love it all.
Great.
as far as how I look at Star Trek, one thing that people like, again, I was raised in the 70s. I grew up in the 70s. So I grew up during during the era of the movies and then Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. So I'm going to say this. First off, we know that in the first couple seasons of any Star Trek show, they're finding their legs. They're trying to find their way of getting their grounding. And once they do, they took off, like Deep Space Nine, Next Generation. So with the current state of Star Trek, the way I look at it, I'm a fan. I love that. Like, there are a lot of people out there that didn't care for Discovery. There are others that did love Discovery. There are people that loved Picard, some that didn't. Me as a whole, I liked where Discovery was going. They had to find their grounding. They had to find their feet. I love the Mirror Universe episodes. For those who didn't see it, spoiler alert, but I love the Mirror episodes that were within the first season. I love the direction where they were going for the second season. As far as Picard, they put nice closure on certain things within the Next Generation world. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with season 2. As far as the movies go, I had the mindset of looking at it as a multi-universe and that it was a multi-universe thing. So I went into it with the idea that, okay, this is another tale within the Trek universe. There's no, to me, I didn't get caught up in the canon idea of this is canon, this has got to be canon. I'm not going to be a purist. I just wanted a good story. I didn't care about political agendas or anything. I want good sci-fi stories, period. And if you have a hidden message within the story, that's even smarter, because now you pulled me in without trying to jam something down my throat. I don't care for anyone's political side, whether left or right. Don't care about that. What I care about, can you tell me a story without doing this, but tell me a good story where I learned something from it and I felt good about the story. When the Orville came out, the Orville people were worried that it was going to be all tongue-in-cheek, Family Guy, and it really wasn't. It really kind of threw everyone for a curve because the writing got even in a whole different direction. So as you're watching, you're thinking it's going to go one way, and it goes in a whole different direction. And it pulled me in after the first episode, I was automatically pulled in with the Orville. So it was like, I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. And for those people who are Next Generation fans or Star Trek fans, you know the nods, you see the nods that they give within the Orville series. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know this as you're watching the show. Whether it's the music, whether it's who's appearing on there, it's all these little nods. So to me, tell me a good sci-fi story. If it's Trek related or anything dealing with sci-fi related, as long as you can tell me a good story. I think the closest thing next to Star Trek and Orville is Babylon 5 for me. Like, I love Babylon 5. Babylon 5 is like the be all to end all, and then there's their Expanse. But Babylon 5, be all to end all. Be all to end all. So again, I have so much love for so much sci-fi, it's not even funny.
Wow. So this question goes to Jason Jr. What does Jason Jr. think of current Star Trek?
Well, actually, right now he's enjoying a lot of horror movies. Because traumatized him early, apparently. Today is my wife and I's anniversary of 12 years.
Oh, congrats.
Happy anniversary.
And so it's been horror movies and laughing when he poops because it's, we're childish. And I think that snuck up theirs. Little Jonathan Parker. He was hungry, so I had to feed him.
He had to do the daddy. He's doing the daddy thing.
I'm doing the daddy thing right now.
So does Daddy have an opinion on current Star Trek, or do you not prefer not to?
It's funny because like I'm big into sci-fi stuff. I'm just big into just movies in general, shows, everything. The problem that has hit me is I wanted to watch this new series. I wanted to see what like Picard is all about. I haven't had time to, but from what I've heard, there's points about it that I don't appreciate, or don't really say appreciate, but don't find necessary for what Trek represents. I've heard some things about callbacks and all that stuff, but then I heard that there's like F-bombs being dropped and I'm like, what? When was that a thing? And so it's kind of, if I'm gonna watch anything sci-fi right now, outside of doing my nerddom homework of Orville, it's Community is on Netflix right now, so I get to watch my Professor Space Time and all that stuff, and obviously Rick and Morty stuff. I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm waiting for him to get mad because there's no more milk.
Let me ask you guys. Somebody asked before. I'm trying to look for the exact question. What is the tone going to be for a Planetary step? Is it going to have a little bit of humor like the Orville?
Well, if you saw the pilot episode, the premiere episode, you got a little bit of every like someone else hit the beat. They're saying we hit all the beats, we hit all the emotion. That's how the series is going to be. We're basically going to be very faithful to the show as close as we can on a almost zero string budget. We're going to be as close as we can, not missing any of the beats from Orville. In other words, there are going to be moments. It's going to hit all emotional sides. I mean, the thing was Star Trek is the fact that they have a humor that basically stuff that we would say if it was in real life, and we would joke about something for that moment and then get back into being serious. So we're going to make sure we hit those beats, but it's definitely going to have a serious tone, but also it's going to have those funny moments. that's one of the reasons why, like, I had someone like JP get his input, making sure that as we're looking over scripts and JP gives his input on the script, making sure that, hey, are we too funny, or are we being funny enough, or are we being too serious, or are we being not enough serious? So we're doing a nice balance. We're doing a nice balance where there's going to be humor, there's going to be emotional moments. That's the beats. And like I said again, also it plays a part of what the characters, what my cast will bring to the table. So when I made the decision in the last week, I made the decision that Planetary Step, it will become an Orville fan series. So a Planetary Step is now going to be a fan film, Orville fan film series. So
fabulous! Wow.
We are working on first season. I'm already working on 8 new episodes. And busy writing. I just finished as of last night.
Wait. That's breaking news, guys. Everybody in the chat. 8. He said 8. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
So we're going to be doing episodes.
Wait,
8 episodes. 8 and maybe 9.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, not counting this episode, but we're going to probably do anywhere between 8, no more than 10 episodes for the first season. They're going to be anywhere ranging from 10 to 15 minutes long. We have a lot of, so some of them are going to be introduction to certain cast members. But by the time we do a season finale, it's going to probably be a 2-parter. But the goal is we're going to get we want to give something for people to talk about. This will be taking place within the realm of season 2 towards season 3. So this series will be taking place in the latter part of season 2. So if you look at the first episode, we mentioned about certain things taking place that happened already in season 2. So when you watch the film, listen out some of the dialogue of what we were talking about. We don't want to give too much away for those who haven't seen it yet. But we just casted 6 new cast members, which is my entire crew. So we'll be making announcements in the next week of the new cast members that we casted for A Planetary Step.
Anybody we may already know?
Could be. Okay. I'm just going to keep it under wraps right now because, I want to make sure that when we make the announcements, when we say the names, we got it set in stone. So, but for right now, all I can say is in the last 48 hours, I worked my butt off getting the cast together because I really wanted this to, and in the midst of everything that's going on right now, once things are lifted, we're going to be shooting out of the park, start getting things together and all. The key thing is right now, costumes, props. So I'm already been working hard with that and going over stuff with Jason, sitting down, working on treatments right now for episodes. So it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the big payoff. It's going to be the big payoff.
Wow. Let me ask you, Eric, is there more JP? Can we ask you that?
Oh, definitely. As long as JP, like JP and I've talked about, we have to do an episode where it's going to be an episode that's going to be around him and my character and Lorraine, which is played by Joe. It's our dynamic, our friend dynamic. And we have another person that we haven't mentioned yet that's just got casted, and we're going to do this whole thing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's all a matter of timing and getting people where they need to be. When we film, for example, when I filmed episode of Trek Isolation, Out of the Fire, we had over 40 actors come all the way down to Philadelphia at 5 a.m. to film out in the woods at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we were done by 2. If you haven't checked it out, check out Out of the Fire. It's on my YouTube page. Check it out and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We got all these devoted actors, and it took me a month and a half just to make sure everyone was coordinated correctly. So when you're filming like that, you got to make sure everyone's schedule is on the same link. You got to make sure that everyone has a free time. Weekends is a lot of times when everyone is free. You want to make sure, like with Jason, we had to coordinate it with the location that we got, everything. All these little things fall into play. So it is a thing where you have to plan out way in advance. You know.
Now we know that Joe has her, or well, Lorraine has her own command now, right? Is that correct, Lorraine?
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your character?
She's a very good friend of Eric's
And
character.
I don't want to get you into trouble with Eric.
No. Go for it. Go for it.
She'll tell it how it is. She does not hold back when she talks to him. So she's very honest. But yeah, she gets promoted and is now the captain of another ship.
What's the backstory on their relation? Are they classmates at the academy? Are they?
Yeah, we were classmates and have been friends for a very long time throughout our careers and have remained close friends. So we advise each other and are I tell it how it is. He whines, the usual.
Well, and the other thing is that's where we're going to dive deeper into the relationship between JP's character Alex, my character Lorraine, and also another character. We're gonna dive into that whole dynamic. There's an episode that I'm currently working on. I kind of talked to Jason about it because we're already working on location where we're going to be filming. And it's going to be you get to see Lorraine why Lorraine is who she is and why she's such a slam dunk awesome captain and why she deserves to be a captain. I have to say it like that. So it's definitely like, because like people want to learn more about all these characters. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna give you guys something to talk about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
There's a lot of dynamic within each of the characters, and especially some of the new ones that Eric has brought on and their backstory. So it's gonna be really cool. You guys are gonna enjoy it.
Wow.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's one or two people that are going to make appearances that I just got casted that a lot of people are going to be very familiar with, and they're going to be, oh my God, you got him. And the character that this person is going to be playing is going to be very cool. When I came up with the idea, everybody that I talked to behind the scenes, they love the idea. They love the idea of what I was going to do. So I'm like,
don't give it away.
Oh no!
Wow,
I'm not going to give that away. I can't.
Our Latchcom chat has been talking for months about William Shatner as Avis, and maybe Eric has that in the works.
Well, let's just say we have someone on that level that we could, when we make the announcement, people are going to be like, wait.
On that level, Eric?
And keep your mouth shut, all right? Shut.
Fine.
Okay. I was kidding about Shatner, by the way, guys. I was kidding about Shatner. So if I hit. All right, guys. So let's see. Does Jason and Eric, do you guys want to take this question from Steven?
It says, where does the budget, Stephen Klein asks, where does the budget come from? And where does the budget come from? Is from our own money or through donate? Oh, is it through money or donations or other means? It's called having a job and making sure my bills are paid. And then whatever's left over, my wife lets me use whatever money I want to use. Since I don't spend on big flashy cars and all, it's basically I come out of pocket. So I'm not rich or anything like that, but I basically pay into the craft, and I've been blessed enough to work with talented people that basically it's a way of everyone showing off their awesome talent, and it's also a way to open doors for them. So if I can help Jason by having him being my director, and that's going to open more doors for him. At the same time, it helps out Joe. It helps out this person. Helps out that person. It helps out everyone. For myself, I do it for the love. So it's not about making money. It's not about trying to get donations. It's great, and I'm not saying that I would never do it, but I just don't feel I need to because, again, this is coming from a place of love. So if I can tell a story, I did it with my other past fan films, and I did it on a zero-string budget. Unless it's an original piece, it's an original IP of mine, then that's when I would raise money. But I would raise money off the strength of everything I've done for the love of all my other projects. So in other words, I don't want to make money off of IP that's already existing. I'd rather make it off my original IP. So if that being the case, if I ever decide to do something original, it will be off the strength of the Orville stuff, my Doctor Who stuff, my Star Trek fan films, all the fan films I've done, and the people that followed and supported me. When I say, hey, I'm doing this piece and we're going to have this person, that person, and people are like, well, you know what? He's done all this stuff. Let's see what he can do if we contribute something to him on a larger scale. So,
Eric, before I forget, we have a big. Our community's been waiting for this for a while. We have a big debate, Doctor Who debate on Friday, and we have an extra seat on the panel, and you are welcome if you want.
yes.
Okay, just putting that out there.
Yes. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Okay, awesome. Wow.
Finish that sentence.
Yes.
Wow,
Oh,
awesome.
God, yes.
That's great.
Yeah. Just to add on to that,
Please.
question from Stephen Klein. Some of the come on, the cat's throwing up behind me.
We can't hear it.
Stuff is so bad. Come on, man. Because we've done different industry stuff, like because I already shoot commercials and do all this other stuff. It helps out that I have some equipment, like I have, cameras, lenses, all that stuff, lighting. But then, we do have to pull out of our own pockets to get, extra equipment. Sometimes we need extra, lenses and it's crazy. The amount of love that we're getting from this is just overwhelming. I'm like, wow. But it's all love.
I mean, for me, if I'm gonna utilize my money, I'd rather utilize my money, whether it's helping out Jason, helping out other people within our crew or our staff, of course, craft service and all that. But behind the scenes, there's certain things that I've done in prior films where behind the scenes, whether someone's travel or stuff like that, or letting them stay at my house and stuff.
Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I have a bad internet connection, or I don't know what it is, but I'm about to get bumped. I will be back in 45 seconds if you guys don't see me. Just keep talking.
Okay. So blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And yes, and we did the Orville and this, and the Orville is awesome, and I love it. Matter of fact, I got right now until we get him back.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Why did they do this?
What's going on, everybody? Up. We're coming right back. We can't wait. It's about the Orville, baby. It's about the Orville. We love the Orville. We want to thank everybody that joined us today, and we can't wait to talk more about Orville. We can't wait for BJ. BJ's going to come back and all that stuff. We got Joe Colton down below. We got J1 Khan, Jason Spider-Man, Richardson, and all that other stuff. And we got the smoke. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to go. PJ should be back in a minute, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back. He said the show's been hijacked. I love it. Everybody's been awesome on here. Everybody's been awesome. Troy says the show's been hijacked. Thank you guys also for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Seriously, it means a lot for us as Orville fans and all that stuff. And, showing the love for this show, you can't go without saying, shout out to the cast and crew, Seth MacFarlane, all the executive producers, Tom and everyone that basically help support, love for sci-fi. We are greatly appreciating everything and everything. Okay, someone asked, Mr. Miles, chief engineer, asked, who edits for you for Planetary stuff? Who edits the Planetary stuff? Jason, you want to answer that one?
All right. Yeah.
Hey, you take that.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been getting bumped at least once per stream this week. I apologize.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It's StreamYards. I don't know what it is. Go ahead. Sorry, Jason.
No. I actually have to. I do the editing. I do put the music to, like, I score the music together into the video. This was actually my first official, like, film that I had to edit, because I'm used to I do fight scenes and stuff like that, and I do commercials mainly, and like short and or advertisements. If you go to Atlantic City, like, there's tons of my videos like that you see on like the big teleprompters where it's like, come down to Atlantic City, blah 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 blah. And so like doing this was different. I learned a few things. I brought some things over that I did with TV and like stuff like that, but this was still a different animal. And I had to do some wild and crazy things that I love talking about, because, like, you don't understand. This was like maddening. Was like putting together dialogue. Like I'm gonna ride that out as like the coolest thing I ever had to do. Like, I wanted to change up a little bit of the dialogue, so we do multiple takes, all that other stuff, and I took it was about 3 different lines with 3 separate takes, and I spliced them together and made a separate like line of dialogue that's in Joe's speech, like her monologue moment, and you can't really tell because of the way I set it up, and I just love doing that. Like,
So great.
it was so funny because it's like, oh wow, I could totally just, if I get enough words, if I can get people saying enough like words, I can just like make the script. Just like, I just need another couple like cool angles, and where you don't see their mouths move, or like an over the shoulder shot, or they're blurred out because they're far away in the distance.
Kind of the way they just fixed episode 9 of Star Wars in the editing room.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank God for the Mandalorian and for Clone Wars, because that gave me some hope. They gave me some
I'm
hope.
so sorry.
Thank you, Favreau. Thank you, John Favreau, for the Mandalorian. Thank you, and thank you for Clone Wars. That's all I'm gonna say.
I apologize for episode 9. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
So Jason was basically telling us how he likes to play God in the editing room. Jason, how did I know you guys were friends from before. How did you come onto the project?
Again, yeah, like, I was always friends with these guys. Still trying to get Joe to like jump in on one of my projects. She's got no choice. So, but
Just feeding, it's fine.
yeah, I'm just make you do it. But with Eric, like, he was one of when I told people, because I had got a bunch of people together, like a bunch of cosplayers together, because I was going to do like the nerdiest thing that no one's ever seen before. I was going to do a legit commercial for my convention. And like, no other convention was doing this. This wasn't a thing you saw in conventions, like TV commercials for the convention. So I was like, I'm going to do something really cool. I want like characters to be fighting each other or hanging out or about to face off. And it'll be like, I wanted a representation from anime, something from comic books, something from like TV live action.
In fact, Ryan Terranova did the David Tennant Doctor Who for your first commercial.
Right. And we had this commercial together, and I told people, I was like, I'm gonna get it on Cartoon Network. And I don't know. People don't like to believe when I know I have dreams and I have like wild ideas, but I'm a man of my word. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I was like, yo, come on out. Everybody meet me here in this like desolate location. And we're going to shoot this commercial. And people were like, nah, like whatever. I had 20 people lined up for the shoot. 6 people showed up. Like everybody like bailed on me like what that morning. Like that was insane. I felt so like screwed over. I sat there in the dirt because again it was a desolate area, and I came up with a whole new script, a whole new like storyboard for what I was gonna do because I had everybody planned out. We had the cast, so I knew what characters were supposed to be on set. So I had like different teams, and it was pretty much gonna be what you ended up seeing years later in the airport scene of Captain America Civil War. I was going to do a scene similar to that. And now I got 6 different characters from all the different walks. I had a Red Ranger, I had Sailor Moon, like, and Smoke. I knew Eric was going to be my ride or die. He came out and he was like, I got you. And you had multiple cosplays just in case, but like, I wanted you to do, what's the name from Appleseed?
Burials from
because I was a big Appleseed fan, and so I was like, all right, cool, that'll be cool. And we put together, like, I put together this commercial, and next thing you know, everybody saw it on Cartoon Network, and then out of nowhere, everybody was like, I want to be a part of your next commercial. Now I'm like, nah, brah. I can't. I'm jaded. So I decided to change it where I have my certain stars, like Eric is one, Joe will be another, but I provide an opportunity for indie cosplayers to come out and really show off their cosplay, because at J1Con, if you win any of the like top prizes for our cosplay contest, you get to be a star in my next commercial.
Wow.
So like, and I always get extras and stuff. I do a call out for extras like who are cosplayers as well.
Oh, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But like the stars themselves get to be like featured on Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias, plus Cartoon Network.
Wow. I feel like there's a lot. I feel like we have to have you back and delve into all that someday, Jason. I think that just to be clear, Stephen. So it's actually Jason who has the convention. But let me just ask you, Eric and Jason and Joe. Do you guys show other fan films at Jason's convention, or like do you guys promote other fan films?
Well, seeing the fact that I'm the cosplay director for Great Philadelphia Comic Con, and so basically that opens the door for me to have panels and everything. In the past, I have had fan film panels. I had a panel called Cosplay and Fan Films, and so what I would do was I had different people, different directors who have had their fan films featured, and we would have like a 45-minute to an hour thing to show. So we show a group of our different fan films that we've done, and then we do a Q&A. The biggest one that we've had so far to date, besides showing the Spawn fan film that I showed in New York City in Times Square for the 20th anniversary of Spawn, with Michael Jai White being present, when we had our Doctor Who, when Brian Terranova and I did our Doctor Who Torchwood series Legacy, we had a standing room only for one of the Doctor Who conventions, and we opened up for Matt Smith before Matt Smith came out. We got a chance to open up for him. So that's God. So again, we've had that done that in the past. We were going to do that this year if everything had gone and everything lined up right. had it not been for the current situation that's going on. We would have definitely had something this year, but definitely moving forward next year, we're definitely going to have something. And definitely related to the Orville. This is all going to be about the Orville next year for when we do panels for next year.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and I was gonna say we do have like fan panels and stuff like that for fan films. So we've had different artists because I like to showcase the indie scene a lot, and Eric knows like he's very awesome with that too. So like our conventions tended to show like a lot of love. He's the director, like, and I own mine, and we just like. We love the indie scene a lot. We love to see people be creative. Anytime people show me something that like they've done that's creative, I try to give my, expertise on, the technical side of it, this, that, the other thing. And sometimes my non-technical side, like just as a viewer, as a spectator, like, is this going to be marketable? Like, all that cool stuff. This is why I like working with all these guys because they're brilliant, they're wonderful. I love
okay. So you guys have you guys have a lot of stuff going on the East Coast then, as far as cons and stuff. I have a question for Joe, but I want to clarify this question from because the chat's been asking about it several times. But this question is for Eric before I move to Joe. Eric, if you participate on the panel on Friday, on the Doctor Who panel, they want to know, DJ, who's also participating, wants to know what your position is on the new Doctor Who. Do you like the female Doctor?
I didn't care. I don't care that it's a female Doctor, if it's a polka dot Doctor, if it's whatever Doctor. Tell me a good story. Again, I'm not trying to get too deep into it right now because Friday we're going to talk about it more. But for those people who want to know, I just want good Doctor Who stories. Give me some better writers. There were a couple episodes that had me, and the whole Captain Jack thing. We're going to talk about that because that was such a But do I mind that Jodie's the Doctor? No, I don't care that she's the Doctor or not. But damn it, like you need to come into your own. If you're going to be the Doctor, you got to come into your own identity as the Doctor. Don't care if you're male, female, black, white, polka dot, purple, but damn it, become the Doctor. Embody what the Doctor is all about. But again, I go back to the writers. That's all about writing. It's all about what you're going to tell in your companions and everything. I don't care if you have 20 companions. Give me a good writing. Give me a good story that has no political agenda, and you can tell me a direct, good Doctor Who story that's going to appeal to fans and appeal to new generation of fans, then you got it. You got me hooked. Right now, I'm on the fence with Doctor Who because I'm like, come on, you guys got to do a better job than this. You guys got to do a better job. But do I care that she's a male or female? Nah, doesn't bother me.
Okay, great. And Troy's also going to be on that panel. So from the Professor Geek Show and from Troy's channel. So wow, we're going to be looking forward to that. That was unexpected that Eric's going to join us, but that's fabulous.
Yes.
So, Joe, I'm gonna listen. You're definitely our co-host on Power Women Wednesday are definitely going to have you on as a guest, I think. But I want to show one of the pictures that people see on your Twitter, and you want to just comment on it because it's very well
yes,
done.
I see it. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that one. Oh, okay. Whew.
Woo.
All right.
Yes.
So now, was this for a contest, a competition, or was it just a? Do you do this often, Wonder Woman?
Yes, very often. I in addition to G.I. Joe stuff that I do, I also dress up as Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. The costume itself is leather, fully leather, and it's layered. It was made by a company called Airship Isabella, which is no longer doing costumes. But that costume was molded to me and the mold was the way they did the leather was they used rainwater and molded the leather to a body form that was made of me. So yeah,
wow.
it's pretty intricate and really amazing.
Wow, it looks very authentic.
Her husband's her fiance is very happy.
I usually wear this at conventions, especially if there's like a lot of little girls or little boys on Sundays, because I get a lot of hugs wearing that. And I get hired on to go to parties or private events dressed as Wonder Woman. And I was asked by the Baltimore Sun to wear this to the Justice League opening for the premiere, and Warner Brothers actually thought I had somehow gotten my hands on a screen-used suit and had to have the Baltimore Sun verify that I was did not steal it or get it on the black market. And I was like, no.
Wow. Yeah, because it looks very authentic.
Thank you.
Wow. And let me ask you about this other picture that we see on your Twitter. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
I'm so nervous. Yes. Okay. So my fiance is the Aquaman on the left.
You guys look great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hand beaded that top for Mira with my mom. It took us 3 months. And then I hand painted the PTG, which is done for the jellyfish, and stuck lights in them. And the skirt, which you can't see here, also has lights, and it changes as I walk, and I have a remote control in my hand. But that was a labor of love. The wig is made by Amanda Hurd. She does amazing wigs.
Wow. Fabulous. You guys look amazing. Wow. He looks great. And you look great too. Wow.
Thanks. Oh, sorry. It was wigs by Amanda. Sorry. Wrong name. Sorry, I was like, that's not right.
Wow. Okay. Now let me ask you guys, getting a little bit into the film itself, and getting a little bit into. Let me just put this away 1 second. Let me just getting a little bit into the planetary step. What does whoever wants to answer this? What does that title mean? A planetary step. Can you give us anything on that, or is that?
Yeah, I can. Because I was the one who wrote it. A planetary step was basically the premise of the first episode was my character, David, was taking a major step in his career. And it was a major step within the Planetary Union. So when I was coming up with the title, I wanted it to be something that echoes of what David's journey is within the Planetary Union. So when I came up with a planetary step, he's taking a major step. And I was like, one large step for mankind. No, he's taking a planetary step. He's taking a major step within the Planetary Union. So that's where I came up with the concept of planetary step.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So the next question for the three of you as well, whoever wants to answer, there's a couple of, themes that come up do we call it a fan film, or is it part of a fan film? Or is it a pilot?
Episode, yeah. First episode.
Yeah, I guess now it's officially a pilot.
Pilot, first episode pilot.
Yeah, I guess that's the correct word, pilot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in the pilot episode, do you guys either one of you want to talk about the this theme about opportunity and when it knocks, and why did you guys choose that? Perhaps is it relevant to either of you?
Yeah. For when I wrote this, and I came up with the concept, I was thinking about the steps, basically opportunities that have come to my doorstep. For opportunities like for Joe and for Jason, we've all had opportunities that have come, and sometimes you have to sometimes that's a major step that you're going to take. And that, again, it goes with the title. That's a major step that you're taking. So, like, for example, years ago, as a pro wrestler, I got approached by a major wrestler at that time, very big name, offered me to come to his company to start my career as a pro wrestler within his company. At the time, I didn't think I was ready. And those are moments that you have to reflect and saying, okay, I could have made a major step in taking that opportunity to run with the ball. It was presented to me on a silver platter. So within the story of the pilot, here was an opportunity for David to take that step to become captain. But because of the fact that he's had this thrown his way before, he's had these offers before, and he's a good leader, he's a strong leader, and we'll find out more about his past. But one of the things was he has a father that basically, because he was someone that was a major person, he was a major player within the Planetary Union. Again, we didn't touch on that, but he basically was a big wig, and in the past, he's tried to help his son move ahead by pulling some strings here and giving him opportunities to get ahead. So he calls himself helping his son, but in essence, it's kind of like, well, did I get this on my own merits? Almost something what Captain Mercer went through within the first couple of episodes of Orville season 1, when he found out that Kelly revealed that she had the Admiral pull some strings to get him the captain of the Orville. He had this confidence thing, like, was I good enough to be a captain? Was I, or was it because someone else? So with me,
it definitely came to mind about Captain Mercer. Yeah.
Right. And so I wanted to tell a different side of it. For me, it was my father. It was a little bit of life imitating art, because some of us had those parents that wanted to give that extra push. Now, some people in some cases would embrace that. Others want to get on their own merits. I was lucky enough to have a father to teach me that you have to work for what you want. But as also for me being a father, I had to also make sure I taught my daughter that when she was growing up. So, but it was always that flip side. It was like, well, what if my dad was always pulling strings for me? How would I feel if he was always offering? Would that mess up my confidence? Would that make me want to question, am I capable of doing it without that push, without that pull? And then I look at it in a whole life thing. I always believe in the idea of things happening for a reason. Certain doors opening for a certain reason, and you're getting these opportunities. Throughout my career, I've had one door open from being a pro wrestler to being an actor, from being an actor and being a pro wrestler, doing the Comic-Con circuit, from being a cosplayer, from there being a TV host, from being a TV host, and the doors open. I end up being a director for a Comic-Con, and I'm running. And again, it's all these little different elements, and it's opened a lot of doors for me. But it was always it's that fear of the unknown, of wondering, am I good enough? Am I going to do a good job? Is it going to be because of what I bring to the table? Or is it because someone gave me that extra push? It's always those factors. So for me, I wanted to tell that little speck of a story. And because I have friends in real life who've given me sound advice, whether they're older than me or younger than me, I always believe in relying back on my friends. And that's also plays a part within the story about having your friends be in your corner. Friendship is everything. And again, you'll learn the more the dynamics between Lorraine and Alex, which is played by JP and played by Joe. You'll find out the relationship they have as a friend. As you remember, JP said, Alex says, "Hey, we love you, man. Of course we believe in you. We love you, man." So these are the little things that help David, be the captain that he's going to be, and be the awesome captain that he's going to be, hopefully throughout the series.
You know who came to my mind, Eric, as well while I was watching that, apart from Ed Mercer, also Tom Paris from Voyager came to my mind, except he kind of rebelled.
Yeah.
Is there a rebel in your character? On any level?
I'm gonna tell you this. As someone who served, I was a United States Marine. So I had brothers. I had two older brothers that were Marines. So something happened to me a traumatic moment happened to me when I was serving, where my brothers and my father wanted to step in. And at that time, I was 19. And this is something only a few people know, like Joe knows, Jason knows, but something that traumatic that happened to me that basically affected my life throughout the course. And at the time, both my brothers and my father wanted to step in and do something and take charge in the situation. At that time, at 19 years old, me at that time in that mental state was like, I got to do this myself. I don't want their help. I can do this. I got to stand for myself. I don't want no one's help. I want to stand for myself. So that also plays a part in why I wrote what I wrote. But there was consequences because I did that. And in doing so, it made me a stronger individual, but I caught a lot of hell in the process. But it made me a stronger person, but there were repercussions behind it too. So in this case, we're telling a story about how David's father wants to step in and help him out because he believes in him, but he wants to give him the extra push because he believes in his son. His son wants to do it on his own without any help from his father, to show his father that he can stand for himself. As much as he loves his father, he doesn't need any help from anyone. He wants to show that and his friends know that he's capable of doing that. His friends know that he's a hell of a leader. And the Admiral Perry has been like pushing like, hey, you want to take the opportunity? Like, again, also, if you think about it, William Riker, when everybody was pushing for him to be a captain, if you remember the prior episodes in Next Generation, there was an episode right of the best of both worlds. And they were like, oh, so, when are you going to take command of your own ship? And the one thing Riker stood out with me, Riker said, everybody's worried about my career. Well, my career is my own, and I'm going to make my choice when I'm ready. And so basically it was him from that, him from Mercer, him from my own life experiences. So when I wrote that, I was like combining all those little experiences and telling that story.
Okay, sorry, I was muted. Let me ask you this, Eric. Let's see. Sorry, I had a question and it just left me. Let me ask you this other question. I asked Alec Peters one time from Axonar, do you guys have room for an Orville bridge?
Mm-hmm.
He said they do have room. Now, let me ask you this. Is there any intention to building an Orville or a Planetary Union-like bridge anywhere for future use?
I've been fortunate to work with some great people when I did the Trek Isolation series and everything else. There's always possibilities. I have been talking with Jason. We're coming up with some ideas. I don't want to give anything away on script, but there's something that I wrote that is all original concept. But the idea that I have, it's definitely is something I want to do that hasn't been touched on before. So I'm going to try to see what I can do. There's certain things for the time being that I have to maneuver around and play with to make it work for what we're doing. But if the opportunity presents itself where someone's saying, hey, come on down, I have done that when we filmed our Trek Isolation stuff. Myself, Joe, one of my other co-star and creator, we went down to Atlanta to film on the sets of Starship Farragut, where they shot Star Trek Continues and all. We went down there we filmed in Kingston, Georgia. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. But some ideas that I have to start off within this first season realm, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. Keep my fingers crossed, but I like to think it's going to be pretty cool.
Okay. Wow. When do you guys think we might? And obviously, this is a hard question right now because of what's going on. At the same time, I've talked about this a lot with Vance. You have an advantage that other productions don't have, and is that you can also put out content on let's say, a simpler level, which may not hold you guys back as far as other more formal productions might be held back. and Vance goes out into the woods and shoots whenever he feels like it, or he gets video from other people and they shoot, and he puts together this thing that, you know, that he glues something together. So let me ask you, when do you guys think that we might see anything from your universe?
Well, I'm looking to do. I'm in the idea of doing some vignettes, little mini. When I did for example, when I did for my Spawn fan film, we did these little mini vignettes, and they were like, maybe, again, Joe was a part of that. We did these little mini vignettes introducing characters. So I'm going to be probably doing that, introducing characters, many small vignettes leading up to episode 2. But it's a matter of, again, certain things being lifted. Granted, there's certain things that we can film, that we can get away with. So I'm going to probably start it off and set it off. But I am looking to do a vignette or two, but something really small, something really basic, just to keep the crowd going, keep the crowd motivated. At the same token, too, like I said, I'm already working on 4 to 5 treatments right now. I mean, literally working on them back to back to back to back. And the thing is that, and that's right now, while we're indoors, this is the time for I'm writing. I'm in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. I run downstairs and I'm writing stuff on paper. While we were all talking, I wrote some stuff down on paper. I'm like, okay, I gotta include this right here, and then I'm putting it right over here, something like this. And I'm writing it down and I'm putting it on paper. Again, these are ideas that hit me. My actors, you know, who I got cast, they love the characters they're going to be playing. So, and it's in tune to their personalities in real life, which is going to make it very interesting. I'm real excited about that. So, yeah,
good for me to work on, like, to direct them, because it'll be more natural.
Yeah, because like when Joe brings Lorraine to life, it's basically Joe and me in real life talking to each other. Joe getting on my ass, excuse my language, but getting on my ass when she's getting on me about something or we're discussing something. And so, like with JP, for example, JP is being JP. We had so much fun with it. I'm thinking about the end when JP was like, I'm going to synthesize some condoms. Peace. So, like, you know, moments like that. Again, you know, look at the documentary. The documentary says it all. I mean, the making of a Planetary step, we have fun doing this stuff. So, again, so yeah, I am going to do a little vignette here and vignette there. And we're going to do it smart. We're doing it smart. But also, I want people to understand, when we do these little vignettes, it's not for the big picture. The episode 2 is going to be the build-up. We're hoping whenever they decide to lift this craziness that's going on, whenever they lift and everything's a little bit more safer, when I can allow to have 1 or 2 or 3 people around me at the same time, then that's where we can film. Because we're not going over 10. We're keeping it under 3 or 4. But, you know, we're not going to be all up on each other, but just enough space where we can film something. So yeah, we are in the works of that. You know.
Let me ask you guys this, and let me post it. Let me put it towards first to Jason. Because there's no limitations. Well, the only I asked this to Tom Costantino a little over a year ago, I think, about fan film limitations, and he basically said, as long as you're not making money, they don't want to like limit any fan film right now, which is great. That's what they should be doing. So let me ask you guys this: are you guys going to be in your direction, Jason? Are you guys going to be touching upon any established Orville characters? If you can answer, if you can't, don't worry.
I will leave that.
Okay, that's a question for Eric.
Me. Okay. And again,
well, that way.
I'm going to answer that one. For me, everything takes place in the Orville universe. We're filming in a way, if you saw Ed Mercer walking on set, you can say, okay, I can see him walking on set. You can see Bortus walking in. You're like, oh wait, Bortus. Oh, okay. There's always that opportunity to mention, you know, the Orville, or we mentioned an incident like what we did with the Kazon. I mean, not the Kazon, with Kalon attack. We mentioned that within episode 1. And so, you know, there's going to be certain situations that happen within the last.
You were a hero of the Kalon battle.
One of the
heroes.
One of the heroes. But there's a whole story behind that, which you will learn as the series goes on. But the thing is that we want to make sure while we're staying in the same episode, we're not stepping on anyone's toes. But let's say if you hear Jay Lee's voice in the backdrop on the communicator, and we got the okay, that's not to say we wouldn't say, hey, but again, we're not looking to make money from this. We're showing this is our love for the Orville. We're not looking to raise money because this is out of love. To me, it's our way of having fun. Now, if we're given certain permissions and saying, okay, you guys can do this because you guys are not making money off of this, then hell yeah, I'm going to be like in a sandbox. But again, I'm not looking to make money from this. I'm looking to tell stories that takes place within the universe of the Orville because it's so much fun. And let's be real, we talked about this. Doctor Who exists in the Orville universe. Star Wars exists in the Orville universe. The Muppets exist in the Orville universe. They have talked about it. So I'm like this, okay, it's only a matter of time when they're going to say something about Trek. I'm waiting for them to say something about Trek in the Orville universe. But those are 3 elements that they mentioned within the Orville series. So I'm just going to say, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
If one of my dreams is to be able to just be able to walk on the set of Orville, just like I did when we did the thing in Georgia, the experience, just to see it for what it is and just see this the whole spectacular everything. And I'm just kind of like, again, it's because I got a love for what I'm doing. The reason why also I have a lot of respect for Seth, because of the fact that he did Star Trek fan films when he was younger. The fact that he's telling a story, paying homage to Star Trek, but doing his own thing. And to be able to give a nod where he's in a position where he can have Star Trek actors appear in his series, I thought was brilliant. I thought, and not just Star Trek, we're talking about other shows as well as sci-fi shows and stuff like Babylon 5 and all. We've seen a lot of actors from other shows appear on the Orville. And again, I think it's brilliant. I think it's awesome because how cool would that be? So I'm trying to be on that level where I'm like, I want to do that, but I want to do it in the realm of the independent circuit where other people who have done fan films like Star Trek fan films would like to do a cameo or like to do appearance. I have a couple of friends within the industry that probably would be like, hey, I'll just do it for fun. Just walk on and be like, and be something totally that you would not expect them to be within my series. That would be awesome. I'm not going to say I would not pass up the opportunity. I welcome anything like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Did you want to add, Jason, something to that?
I mean, I don't want to say anything that'll get me in any type of compromising situations. But no, I'm excited about, because I'm working on some extra stuff that goes along with this series.
Yep.
And like I work well with Eric. We've known each other, worked alongside each other a lot. But there is even stuff that I have that I'm working on that he doesn't even know about. But we know to trust each other.
Yeah.
And we know that we're gonna put like some awesome in it. And I have to stay under wraps about exactly the details.
I mean, Jason shared something with me recently, and I'm too excited. I'm so excited. I want to be, but I was like, Jason was like, no, we're going to wait and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a second. Look at this. Who is this? Wait a second. Oh my gosh, look at this awesome actress. She needs to have her own network series. Oh my gosh.
I like.
You're insane.
Look, there's a lot of stuff in these shots in this entire episode. I guess now episode. That I know there was a few on here in the chat talking about like editing and directing and stuff like that. One of the things that I did with this scene was when there's a monologue happening with David, Eric's character. I do. If you don't, a lot of people don't notice this on TV and in movies, but whenever somebody's having a heartfelt moment, the camera slowly zooms in so that you feel like you're getting closer to that person's heart. And so I threw that in there. And then this shot here with JP, he shot his parts separately. His lines are separate all the way in Texas. And I had to edit it together to make sure it sounded like there was a natural, organic conversation between two people. Like even to the point where they're interrupting each other's sentences just to get their point across. And like, you have to understand, like, even the little bar, like I'll be doing even cooler effects than that. That was something I just wanted to separate the fact that someone's on screen having a conversation and then a character's like in the world. But there's so many cool things that I want to do. I can't wait to do that wasn't even in this, like I was excited to be able to make the long distance conversation flow. I was excited to make stuff like new sentences and new dialogue with patches of scenes. Then there was even, little technical stuff like movements and rotations. Because the whole thing was shot with the help of with Serious Photo, who came in, and Lamont came in as the director of photography, and I was in there directing, showing them what shots, what angles, and then how much lighting I want in that shot, and having just everyone come together. And by the way, watch the making. Whatever you do, watch the making of.
Jason, can you tell us a little bit about the actor playing this role? The Admiral?
Oh, the Admiral? Well, the Admiral is, I don't know how many people have saw this already, because it's like, I mean, quite a few people have seen it already, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. But the Admiral's offering, I don't want to say offering necessarily, but like providing an opportunity for David to take charge of. And that's where David is kind of stuck in his own feelings, in his own head, on whether or not he's doing it for his reasons. Did he do it on his own, or is it people going behind his, not really behind his back, but helping him out when he doesn't need it? And do
you want to tell us a little bit about the actor, Jason?
The actor, well, all right, he's crazy. All right,
he's crazy. Crazy good, right?
Crazy good. And it's funny. I'd like to say I don't have any problem with anybody that was on this set. Like everybody I generally know, and then everybody's generally cool. Like we just vibed and chilled and like hung out, and I had to get him relaxed though, to get him to like relax for the documentary part, because he was ready for his lines, and he was. When I say that man was willing to work, we did take, or if I didn't like a take, I'd be like, hey, shut it down, do it over, or Eric would be like, shut it all down, do it over, or I'll punch you in the face, and then.
That's right.
Are you guys familiar with Paul Jenkins from Meta Studios?
The name is really familiar. That's why I'm like.
Paul Jenkins was responsible for the writing in some of the Ninja Turtle movies, and he was one of the writers who was credited with bringing Marvel out of bankruptcy.
Oh,
He was in charge of Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man. So Paul is a friend of the channel, and he's in the chat right now. Hey, Paul.
hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining us.
Hey. I for a second I got confused because like that's the name of the studio that a publisher I'm dealing with. I was like, what? But that's Meta Games.
Okay, and Joe, do you want to tell us real quick about your character? What ship did she get, and just a little backstory?
The Stargazer is the ship that she gets.
Stargazer?
Yes.
Like Stargazer, like Picard's Stargazer?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
I don't know if I can tell you anything about her backstory because
Whatever.
it will be
That's fine.
revealed.
Gotcha.
It's still.
Okay.
Let's just say Lorraine. You're going to find out the relationship between Lorraine. Think of she's got qualities of Kelly, Curzon Dax. She has a little bit of different elements when we wrote her character, because again, when I look at Joe's character and I look at Joe as a person, I always joke with her and I'm like, you would be an awesome Dax. You would be an awesome Dax to my Cisco and all this stuff. So I'm like, and we always joke about that. And so I'm like, all right, now I'm going to write the idea character for her, but she's not a lieutenant or a lieutenant commander. Oh no, she just got promoted around the same time that David is thinking about getting promoted for captain. So it makes them on equal footing. So they keep each other in check, as captains.
Also, like why I am the way I am.
Yeah, definitely. And that's coming up in one of the episodes that I wrote that I'm writing right now currently, and it's going to be cool. I can't wait. I'm excited about it because
you're getting us all excited about it. The whole chat's excited.
Again, to be able, when I'm watching, and it's funny because in watching, I have all the Orville episodes and all from season 1 and season 2. So I'm rewatching season 2 again, and knowing that, okay, I told a story within the Orville universe. My story is now set within the Orville universe. It's a really great feeling because now I'm looking at attention to detail, props, and everything else. Now I'm like, okay, I want to have these props for this episode. And I'm talking to Jason, calling him up, and I'm bugging him already. And I'm like, dude, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and also we want to do this. So I'm contacting one of my other prop guys besides me making props, and I'm like coming in my head thinking about locations, how I'm going to film. And what can I do now and again, all these ideas. Like I said, as a person who's creating and writing a story, like I said, in the middle of the night, I can get up at 3 a.m. and run downstairs and jot something on paper, and later on come and visit and be like, okay, I wrote it. Okay, now I know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, while we were all talking, I wrote down some information on the paper because I'm going to incorporate it in one of the episodes. It's going to be funny, but it's going to be cool too.
Eric, I just want to let you know, did you happen to see the interview we did with Anna from Switzerland from Folkenstahl?
No.
I'm just going to show you real quick because she does prop designs.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you guys be aware that our community has such great creators who are willing to collaborate on projects, and I just wanted you to see Anna's thing 1 second because she's done some amazing stuff, and she's a friend of the channel's, and so let's see.
Oh wow, she did that.
This is her baby Yoda.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. That's
it's a pup. Yeah, it's a.
I need that in my life. I need that baby Yoda in my life.
It's a puppet. This is her. You guys are seeing this, right?
Yeah.
This is her Orville rifle, which she by the way, she documents all her work and how you can replicate it, by the way. Nice. And she, with her friend, she also does uniforms, and this is some of the cosplay. This is her in cosplay. Wow. So some amazing work. Just letting you know that there's a lot of talent out there.
She looks like she's right off the set.
She does. And actually, if you put this, if you blow this up a little bit, 1 second. It's just the finishing on the uniform is amazing.
Yes, the detail. I love the detail.
The detail, yeah.
She's doing she's doing the season 2 colors with the badge and the bars. I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, we've had Anna a couple times on the show, and we're going to have her back many more times because she's doing some amazing stuff.
Make sure you send the link after the show. You guys send me her link. Definitely
Absolutely.
Follow her work. Yeah, and show support to her.
Absolutely, Eric. Guys, I feel like we have been, kept you guys so long, but for me, it's gone by really fast. I don't know. I hope it was.
My life. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Do you guys want to? If you guys want to hang a little, just a few more minutes, do you guys want to take some questions from the chat?
Yeah, please. Listen, you don't know how much this means. And I know, PJ, you and I have been running back and forth, and I've been sending you stuff and everything. I just want to let you know how much we appreciate the fact that you guys are supporting us and believing in what we're doing. It means the world to me. I remember sitting here the night that we premiered it, and I know, PJ, you were like sending me, definite love and support. It meant the world to me because, again, the last time I felt this emotionally, like I felt that emotion, was when I was on the set of on Starship Farragut when we were down in Georgia, and I was on the actual sets. And I remember calling my mom and telling her, God bless her, she's no longer with us, but I remember calling her, and I'm like, this is a dream come true because I've always wanted to, do something like this. So to be able to do this and then bringing all these great people together, and then being embraced by the fandom that I'm also a part of, is really speaks in volumes, and it means so much. And now not only that, getting support from Alec Peters, getting support, of course, JP in my corner, but having all these other great people like yourself in the Orville Nation and the people in the fandom as a whole, from the Sevenfold, everyone, the showing their love, it means the world to all of us. It makes us want to work that much harder to put out really good content,
Let's see. Let's go through. I'm going to see if there's some questions that we missed. I know if people have said a lot of questions. People asked before if did you guys get any feedback from production people who may have seen it? I know I did see that question.
Yeah, seeing it like on Twitter and people like in the industry, like we've all worked with the industry in different facets, like with either Marvel, DC, whoever, but it's really cool when you put together a project like this. I don't know. I'm such a fan of being a nerd that it'll never get old for me. So whenever I see this amount of love where people are tweeting about it, or you see Instagram, people seeing, producers or whoever involved, big names are just like, yo, have you seen this thing? It is wonderful. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a part of that. I feel special. I feel loved. That's you guys feel the same way, right?
Yeah,
I know you do, because we sit there talking to each other online late at night, going like, "Oh my gosh, did you see how this person tweeted about it?" Oh,
yeah. When the executive producers or directors are like, that's cool. We're so excited that you guys have a fan film or a fan episode of a series. And it gets you kind of, it validates your love. Not validates your love, but what you've done, the work you've put in. And then it also pushes you, encourages you to do it again. And then kind of kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember sending a post to the poster to Jay Lee. Jay Lee liked it a lot. I think what's going to be the Mount Everest is having Seth look at it and hoping that Seth gets a chance to see it and to see what Seth thinks of it. I think for me, Jason, for Joe, for the entire cast and crew, I think that will speak in volumes to us because, again, and again, hearing that, for him to see that, to showing our love for all the hard work him and the cast and crew have done, getting the love from Tom, getting the love from all the producers and everything. It's been amazing. I'm I'm hitting up Jason at like 12 at midnight, and I'm like, Jason, guess what? So and so said this about us. And Jason's like, oh yeah, I've been following it. Yeah, I love the comments. Yeah. And it's really like it again, man. It really makes me feel on top of the world, and I'm like, it just motivates me even more, and it makes me more driven to want to make sure we do it right and we do right by the fans. That's the most important thing.
Let me ask you guys this before we get, because I did. You kind of addressed Steven's question before. Actually, let's take Steven's questions first. But can you want to specifically answer how far you guys have mapped out the next season or the first season?
Well, as far as writing, I mapped out all the way to the season finale, which is going to be a 2-parter. And going into season 2, I'm already working on also, like, after I'm done all the treatments and writing and getting the 2-part finale done, episode 1 and 2 of season 2.
Guys, this is big news, breaking news. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. We'll give you full screen.
Season 2. I'm already in the works of working on treatments on that. Right now, I'm finishing up. I'm beginning and finishing up season 1. So we're going to have a 2-parter for the season finale. And again, these episodes are going to be anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes long. So one of the biggest concerns that people were asking, are we going to have a longer series? Yes, we are going to have a longer series. Yes, we're going to have more characters to introduce. A full crew. So I have my first officer, I have head of security, I have a navigator, I have a head of engineering. I have an extra character that no one's going to expect that's going to be on there. We got Joe's character. We got a couple other characters. We got another admiral. So all these actors and actresses.
You got a bartender.
There you
go.
Gotta have a bartender.
I mean, that's needed on set at all times.
Well,
Like,
yeah, well, that too. But again, we got a lot of surprises. We're hoping that I can get one. If I can get 1 or 2 special cameos, I am trying to reach out to certain people I'm friends with. If I can get them to do it, you never know. You never know. I've seen it done on other fan films. Why can't we do it on ours? It's not like we're going to make any money off of this, but I am kind of reaching out to some people that I'm very cool with in the industry. So I'm trying to see what I can make happen. And even Jason doesn't know. You know, we did a show a couple of days ago, my video game show called Pass the Controller, where I had Mark Mirror from Mass Effect appear on the show, and I wanted that to be he was a surprise guest. So again, you never know who I can reach out to say, hey, would you want to do a cameo spot for what we're doing? And that will make his day, because I can see Jason now like, oh, we're getting him. Oh, all right, action. Let's do this. Joe will lose her mind, because I know Joe will lose her mind. If I say, oh, I got Jason Momoa, I know Joe would be like, oh, wait, hold on. But I'm just saying, realistically,
okay.
A couple of surprises. I'm hoping. The most important thing is getting the support from the actual cast and crew. That speaks volumes for us, because that means not only the fans, but the cast and crew acknowledge that we're doing a good job. That, to me, and like I said, having Seth, if Seth gets a chance to see it, which I hope he does, and he likes it, it's like, okay, we can only go even higher. We can only get better,
One of the reviews that I saw, like I was at it was after we did the live stream. There was the premiere. Then we did a live stream about it, and then I went with my fiance to Taco Bell just to get out of the house. Drive through, and he tells me, he's like, "Did you see the review? There's a review." And I was like, "I'm driving. Read it out loud to me." I'm like ordering food. We're going through the drive-through, and he's just reading to me, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Driving out of the drive-through. I must have scared that drive-through person, but I was like so excited. I'm screaming and like just like yes.
Yeah, to see a review pop up so quickly and like on point and
great feeling.
And all we've been hearing online is like, make it longer. We want more. Like,
Yeah.
So you guys knew people were going to feel teased, right? By a 5-minute pilot, right?
I didn't know.
What to expect.
No.
I didn't know
Because
what.
it could be a hit or miss, right? People
Yeah.
could like really love it, or they could be like, "Man, it's all right. You guys didn't make it big enough."
Yeah, when we did Trek Isolation, we had Stan Lee appear on it, and we created a buzz, but it didn't get the buzz like we got the buzz off of this. Like we got a buzz, like people have been talking, and I'm just like, when we put out the poster, and Tom, like he said, "Can I debut the poster for you guys?" And I was like, by all means, yeah. And then we got, my buddy Chris Cross, who did the artwork for Marvel. He's Marvel DC legend artist and all, and he did the artwork. And I think also people were taken in by the art, by seeing the artwork and seeing Planetary Union. Other than the comic book, you're seeing all these other characters that you've never seen before, but then you're seeing them come to life on video, and you're like, wow, whoa, hold up, wait a second. And then we had Angela McKendrick, who did her art piece prior to Chris Cross's. So again, it's like all the stars are being aligned. So,
guys, let me just say, Eric, to everybody in the chat, and everybody who's watching this on replay, to be clear, guys, what these guys need now, what Eric and the gang needs, is massive support to have them put their develop their projects that are in the waiting room, have them develop it. They need massive support. They need to know that you guys are wanting. They need to know that you guys are looking at their posts. We need to show them support on all social media. So,
and believe me, I answer everyone's comment, for better or for worse. And again, I don't take criticism as bad criticism. I'm old enough to know that people are trying to just help make a better product. So when you're telling me, I take all those little elements. I'm not going to go on every little facet, but I'm going to do a damn good job by telling the story, and then having Jason bring his elements in, having JP bring his elements in, having Joe, and then the cast. It's like everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. Now, I do want to give a shout out, because Jason and I have talked about it, but I do want to give personal shout out. We earlier last week or last Wednesday, we debuted the actual FX design of the USS Eisenberg, and I mean, I was blown away. And so I want to give a shout out to Jason Griffin, who's like the FX designer for the USS Eisenberg. I have to give a shout out to him because he bought his A game in bringing that to life, and that really had people talking. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, he started off as a fan of mine and like all the stuff I've done, and then I brought him at the same time as I wanted to bring him in, because one of my staff is like connected to him and brought me into the loop. I ended up it ended up being a whole thing where like he saw the fan film or now episode 1 and was like, yo, this is amazing. I do this and that. And he was like, I want to like, he just wanted to make it because he wanted to be a part of the project. And I was like, this is amazing. And there's even more to it than just that image. And I don't even want to get into it, but like, there's like little things that we worked on, like beyond this. This is not a copy of the Orville. There's unique aspects to it. This is all fully generated original. This is our ship right here. Like this is made from the ground up with its own compartments. There's like everything that's here is this is ours. This is our ship.
Now, does this look to me? Is it the angle, or does it look a little more compact than the Orville? Like more
squished.
Yeah,
squished is that the right word?
The size is a little different, but because we're still working on like how big we want to do it and all that other stuff, because once I get, I dive in with the creative team, like the writers and all that stuff, that'll give me a better idea on how I want to take the story visually. Then that's when the other Jason comes in and we make the magic happen, because there's also stuff like that I want to add to it or take away and all that stuff visually. And you may not be able to even see everything there, but again, this is even the rough draft. Like, let's put it like that. Like the rough draft.
I mean, I saw a little bit more to it, and I'm like, wow. And again, this is going to play along with what we're doing within the story. If you recall, when Mercer talks about the Orville, they said the Orville is a smaller ship compared to some of the other fleet ships. So you got to remember, the Orville's a much smaller ship. So compared to size next to the Orville, it's a definite difference next to the Orville. And that's what we're going with. We're going with something different that hasn't really been touched on within the series. And we want to be able to do our own thing, like Jason said. So there's going to be a couple of little things. And hopefully, that gets the attention where they say, hey, But yeah, definitely, I was when Jason surprised me with this, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is awesome. So yeah. I mean, to see your creation coming to life like I have been, it's a dream come true. And the short span of time, and like I said, mind you, I've been working on this since last year. So the idea, and then from the idea to being on paper, and Joe will tell you, I called her, coordinated with JP, having Skype sessions just to make sure we're getting everything to filming. How many times we were supposed to actually film this? We were supposed to film this back in November, December last year, weren't we?
Yeah, we tried to film it 2 other times, if not 3, and then we finally got all the dates to converge.
And we filmed around like end of January, early February, I think it was. Before all the definitely all before the magic kicked out.
Second to last week of February.
Okay, yeah. So we were getting it out. We were getting it out. So, and then it took us 48 hours to get the original first draft done, Jason?
Yeah. And like,
you guys stayed up late.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, editing, I did the rough edit that night. I was determined to not sleep until the rough edit was done. And I don't know, because I had so many ideas, because I had ideas while shooting, and because we might have to make a part 2 of that making of, because there's like other stuff. There's times where I had everybody go over their lines in their regular clothes, just so I could look at, maybe I want to change this angle up. And it did happen a couple times where I did change up some of the camera angles, some of the lighting, and because we were shooting in a smaller space than I'm used to shooting. Like a lot of the shoots or like commercials and stuff that I did were large sets, open land. Like Eric will tell you, like we've shot on like I don't know, a construction site worth of space to, do stuff. And like now I have to I had to do okay, we're here in like a living room kind of like thing. Like now I got to make this work from these angles. And now that we've done that, and I was able to do that, and in a sense, really pull it off, because like when you're a director and editor, like that's what you it's a matter of like, what can you pull off,
I can tell that Jason has got to be like crazy creative. Like I can just tell like your personality. I'm a psychologist. I can tell. You're like spending a day with you has got to be like just a creative roller coaster, man. I bet.
It's like watching mice in like the octagon, you know, like just watching like these. My brain is a wild mess. It's a lot of blood, but it's a good time. And again, Eric knows I've worked on so many projects, so I'm bringing a lot of wacky ideas and different ideas that you may not see in the Orville, but I want to keep it within the realms of the Orville so that people don't say, "Oh, this is nothing like it," or you know what I mean. But I do want to add like a little spin.
Hey guys, I just have to give a shout out to Fortian, who is our official barber for the Orville Nation community, and he just kicked off his YouTube channel today.
Okay.
By the way, he put, I don't know if you guys have seen this on the internet, but Fortian put this together. He figured that people who were doing maybe barber or maintenance, like some type of role, like of support, might have a yellow uniform. So he put this together, and he just
the barber pole on
and the barber. Yeah, did you see that?
Have one of these, like the bartender. All these barbers.
Yeah, the bartender, for example. Exactly, the bartender.
That would be cool. What would you put in there? Like a little martini? Huh, wait a second.
Doesn't matter.
Same bottle.
That wouldn't be too bad. Huh.
Yeah, he's got the little where is this? Wait. Yeah, he's got the barber thing right there. Anyway, Fortian, congratulations on your first live stream today. So
Yeah, congrats. Yes, like I can't wait to do stuff like more terrain and location shoots once our global situation is handled.
Oh, yeah.
I would like it would have to have an olive. I saw Mountains of Elysium, like it would have to have an olive because I like strong drinks like gin and.
now let me ask. I want to ask Joe. Do you want to be working as an actress in other than fan films and more professional roles?
Sure, I'd love to have an opportunity to do that. I'm open to it. I do have a 9 to 5, but I'm always open to new experiences and new opportunities. So
now, Eric, that's something that you want to do too? Maybe more professional.
Sure. Right now, currently, in fact, speaking of TV, tonight I'll be appearing on Dispatches from Elsewhere on AMC. I did some scenes with Richard E. Grant. In fact, they did a scene. I don't want to give anything away for those people that watch the show, but I'm either going to be on this week or the final season finale. But I'm going to be on the episode possibly tonight again. So I did two episodes of Dispatches from Elsewhere. So I was real happy when the executives were like, "We want to bring you back. We like your look." So I want to be that guy that does background work. If someone wants to put me at the forefront, I kind of stand out because I'm a big dude. So I'm the kind of guy that, hey, whether you put me at the forefront, whether you put me in the back, you're going to see me, but I'm going to make it show. I'm going to definitely make it known that, hey, my presence will be known. But again, it's just the fun and the experience of being able to say, I did this. But yeah, I've been acting for a long time. I've done a lot of just like bit stuff, background work and everything. And it's a great experience to be able to say I've done that. So, hey, if they turned around tomorrow and said, hey, we want you to do a walk-on Orville, you don't think I wouldn't pass that up? In a heartbeat. Look, whatever you want me to do. Oh, you want me to be that little thing in the corner? Okay, I'm that thing in the corner. Whatever you want me to do. The fact that I can say I experienced it and was there. I have a friend that was on the Orville. He played as one of the Mocklips on the Orville, and he posted the pictures and everything. I thought it was awesome. I'm like, I like one of these days, when things are back to normal, I got to pick his brain. What was that like for him and all? But to see the pictures and everything, and him hanging out with Seth and all, and I thought it was great. And he's done other work and everything. So again,
Is that Rico?
who is it?
Is that Rico you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But like I said again, it's really cool to see my friends. Like I have a lot of friends that are in the industry that are doing really well for themselves, and like to see them like this, like my boy Sean Andrew, he got a chance to be on Orville. So to see my friends being able to get their time in the spotlight, it's really cool to see that, and knowing that I'm paying my dues as well. Getting the opportunity to work with certain people. I was in 21 Bridges last year, Chadwick Boseman's movie. I did some scenes with Keith David. So again, to be able to feel good to say, oh, I was in this movie and I was in that movie, to have the experience, it's just really a blessing.
And Eric, is Dispatchers from Elsewhere? Can you just tell us what that's about? Because I'm not familiar with it.
Dispatchers from Elsewhere is on AMC. Takes place here in Philadelphia. It's one of those shows that it's not psychedelic, but it's dealing with four different characters four different characters from different walks of life, coming together to figure out this mystery of a game that they're playing that takes place in Philadelphia, and there's a mystery behind it, and they're trying to find this person, but does this person exist, or is it just a fantasy, or something more to it? So each of these characters bring different elements, and they all have a story. So every episode in the first part of the season, they introduce each character, and each one of them had a story per episode. And then as the episode progressed, you got a little bit more of the bigger picture of what the story is about. But it's definitely a deep show. You have to take the time to watch it. And some people, it's not for everyone. Some people will automatically get hooked on it. Others will be like, if you like, what's that show that came on FX? It was X-Men related, dealing with Charles Xavier's son. Oh man, not Mutant X. Oh God, I can't believe I can't.
I was gonna say Legion, but
Legion. Like Legion's very psychedelic, and you have to like basically follow the show. It's along those lines. Like it's following the show. It has different messages and everything else, but it's a really good show. And for me to be a part of that, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. So the experience was amazing. And meeting different actors and working with different people on set and all was really a blessing. So I had a lot of fun. With that.
Wow. Jason, let me ask you, where do you want J1 Studios to be in 5 years from now?
I don't know. Well, I'm kind of in this weird place right now where I don't know where I want to take the company, because I might, with the production of like my games, kind of like taking a different direction, a good direction, but just like a different direction of my life. I'm not sure if I want to keep it a news site, or if I want to focus just strictly on content creation, because our teams, we have like Brian Misher, we have Melissa Mushu, Barnhill, who are like great artists and writers and all this stuff. We have, like Ray Riley, who does like sound, and we have the artist known as Fire, who's also making awesome music, who did my 90s style theme song for my VT Heroes game. I'm really pushing this 90s thing with VT Heroes. I'm really going for it. And I love being press, because being the press is so cool. I get to I get to do a lot of on-set things. Did not know until it was the last second. I got an email that kind of somehow didn't transfer over to my main email, but I was invited by the studios to be in Jamaica, where my family's from, so that wouldn't have been a hard sell. But I was supposed to be on set for the new James Bond movie, to be like filming and documenting things and like being there like, hey, this is me, Jason, being wacky in Jamaica.
Wow.
Like I love that part because that's the press side of me. But then the side of me that's the content creator, I get to do stuff like go over LA and like I'm hanging out with like sitting down with like the DC animated like their whole Warner Brothers animation crew. Like those are my friends. I'm like sitting there. Actually, this shirt that I'm wearing is a J1 Con shirt that the Warner Brothers animation studio did of my characters for J1 Con. Like
wow. Oh yeah, I saw that picture. Okay.
Yeah, so like this is the kind of stuff I get to do, and I'm like, how far do I want to? What's more important? Because it's I love the business and I love the creativity, but you can't give 100% to either side, and that's where it becomes tough. And now I have a child, who like, like I have cats. It's a whole thing. The whole thing. I got this. I got Ryan Reynolds. A fan sent me Ryan Reynolds' gin aviation.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. Eric, so this is another picture, Eric, you just sent me, right? You wanted me to put this up. That looks beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, and actually, I know before anybody jumps on it, like the font used on the ship was literally a placeholder, and the registry number that's there, I came up with that because it was the month and the year of Aaron Eisenberg, like of his birth. So I thought that would be cool to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And
nice.
Like it's like I looking at this and what I already know what's going on behind the scenes, I'm like, y'all ain't ready. Now y'all have to understand what you're looking at is a fully completed 3D model.
So we show them the other thing too? Could we show them that? What do you think, Jason?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Now, understand everything that you're looking at here.
Yeah.
Is think of it as like the sketch of what the final product is.
Yep, I understand what you're saying.
Like the colors, the details. There's so much that we haven't worked on yet. Like
so
now, of course,
I'm sending you something exclusively for you, PJ, for everyone that's tuned in. This is the first time. And so I'm sending it to you right now. And then
very exciting. We still got everybody. Everybody's still in the chat. They've been here the whole time with us, guys.
So for everyone that tuned in for the chat that's staying with us, that stayed with us, we're giving you this exclusive look before we show the public, because this is the perfect opportunity to show we're going to debut this on Wednesday to the rest of the public. But for you guys get the chance to see this first and foremost. So once you get it, PJ, I just sent it to you.
Twitter?
You can go ahead and post it and show the audience.
Okay, wow. Thank you. Very generous, guys. Thank you, Eric.
We do a drum roll?
Joe, wait.
Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we do a drum roll for it, for the big reveal.
I don't know. What's wrong with me?
That's right, Troy.
Yeah, it's
like there's only the immediate cast and crew have seen this. So you guys, you guys are going to be the exclusive first to see this.
Very exciting. Very exciting. What a treat. By the way, we're celebrating our 2K, our 2,000 followers this week.
Nice.
So this is a very special interview we are having tonight for kicking off our week. Thank you, guys.
Oh,
no, thank you for having us.
Yes.
We really hope you guys like what we're about to show you. Again,
I know people were not expecting to see this face when you hear director behind anything Orville. Like, I understand. Like, it's like we didn't expect Lil Wayne to be here to be directing this show, and what? I understand. I look like I used to work at GameStop. I never worked at GameStop ever in my life.
You walked into a GameStop though.
I have purchased some items from a GameStop. Yes, I have. Not anymore.
I like your hat, Jason.
Thank you.
Really, this is something that Jason. Again, we gotta give it to Jason Griffin. What we're about to show everyone. Jason Griffin is a mad scientist.
Yes,
that's what I could say. He's a mad scientist.
He does amazing work, and he's just like, just let me know what you need, and I'm like, all right, this is what I do, and then like we both are like artists, so we kind of like vibe off each other. So us working together, I don't even want Eric to get involved.
Listen,
I love surprising Eric.
And Seth said this on an interview last week. He said that he leaves it. He doesn't micromanage his crew. He lets them do. He trusts them enough to let them do what they need to do. And just like I do with Jason, I trust them to do what needs to be done. I don't really micromanage that. I'm like, hey, run with it, man. Do what you got to do. And then we sit down and then we get that all together and all that. When it comes to the writers, I let them go for broke. When it comes to the actors, when they read their scripts, I let them become that character. So they don't have to do it word for word, but as long as they stay within the confines of the structure, that's where you get the best acting. That's when you get the best like presentation. Jo is a prime example of that. She gave her a hell of a performance in the pilot episode. So
thank you.
PJ, you ready?
Yep, whenever you let me know.
Here's the exclusive. I'll let Jason tell.
Oh, well, listen, we have a sample here of, again, this is the early model. This is nowhere near the finished model of the Eisenberg in action, in motion.
In action, wow. Okay. Very exciting.
And it's just a quick sample. We're not going to do a whole sequence because remember, we're still, we're beyond this point at this point, but like we were still sketching stuff around and throwing ideas around to get the look and the vibe. But you can show that. I'm so nervous.
For everyone who tuned in, this is an exclusive first look at what's to come for season 1 of A Planetary Step.
Okay.
I like the Captain Cat.
You're going to send it the same way or through email?
I just sent it to you. I sent it to you the way I sent you the ship.
That's gotcha. Okay. It's probably processing. Okay. Great. Wow.
Because you have to also understand it is being shot, or not shot, but made like in the highest resolution a human can imagine. That has to be processed down so that it can run on anybody's anybody's computer. We're talking like at minimum 4K, 60 frames per second. Like, oof.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we have like there's a compression that has to happen before we even. When I start,
Eric, you sent it too slow. You should have started like.
Well, no, I see Captain Cat. Captain Cat says, "Hey guys, and Orville Nation, congrats, you guys on the fan film. One complaint: I wish it was longer. It had 10 episodes. I know you're just catching on, Captain Cat. We are going to be doing like 10 episodes for the season.
Your wish has been granted.
I know you're catching the latter end of this, so we are going to be. This is the pilot episode. We are going to have anywhere between 10 to 15 minute episodes, and it's going to be at least almost 10 episodes, almost, depending on what stories we tell within the world. And we may do a couple little small mini vignettes. I hope I said that right, vignettes. To introduce the next episode. So we might do something small to keep everyone engaged and keep everyone hungry for more.
And Eric did mention there was going to be a 2-part season finale too.
Yes, it is going to be a 2-part. We already mapped out the floor plan of what we're going to do, and I think that's going to be cool. We will have a villain. We will have a seasoned bad guy. We are working on that. A seasoned bad guy. There will be one. Yes, we are in the works of that. Because someone else asked me, "Are you going to have a main villain or something?" I'm like, yeah.
Look, while we wait for the video, because I haven't gotten it yet, what are you guys thinking about at all using green screen?
Jason would be the one to answer that one.
Yeah, Jason.
Are you guys going to be using green screen, Jason?
There's going to be a point where we're going to try and do a little bit of everything, just to try and make it work. Sometimes we'll need green screen. There's going to be times where we're going to do on locations. There's going to be I'm going to say yeah, because there's going to be a point, based on the script and all that stuff. And once I look over the treatments, I'll be able to understand whether or not we can find an actual location to put the stuff in, or if we need to do green screen. But I already have some ideas that I was talking with Jason Griffin, the effects guy, on using some green screen technology to make some really dope things happen. I don't want to get into the details here.
Okay. And by the way, let me just you just reminded me that we give always a thank you to people at Messy Desk, the Orville Fan Experience, for our backdrops that we use.
Yes. I
know that.
And speaking of which, I'll be glad I pushed them into wanting to have that come out on PS4 or PS5, because I so want to play the interactive experience on my PS4 or PS5.
Really? You think they'll do that?
I love those guys. Those guys are awesome.
Wow, that would be awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I haven't gotten it yet. Do you want to email it to me?
Yeah, let me email it to you real quick.
Okay. So, do you need my email or here? It's Orville Nation PJ.
Wait. I think I have it. I think I have it.
Oh yeah, I replied to you before. You have it.
Yep. Yes, you do. Hold on, I'm about to see if I can send this to you right now.
And for any of you guys who are just joining us, we are talking to a world champion here. And in case you missed this at the beginning, that's Eric.
Oh, guys, come on. Aww.
And actually, that's how I got into the wrestling scene, is through him, because he had me working on it, working with him on different things, from advertisements. I did comic art for him back in the day that we shall never let the world see, because now that I look back at it, oh my gosh, that stuff.
I still have that artwork, Jason, that you did.
Yeah,
all that artwork you did of me. Yep.
Yo, what the heck, man? I look back at some of my old art. And I'm like, yikes.
No, but again, it was funky. It was awesome, man. Now I have the ability to get T-shirts made of those, so I am going to get a T-shirt made of that.
Yeah, I want to redo some of that stuff. The other thing is I got into wrestling, and then I started helping out, and then
you mean as a fan or as a
I was a fan of wrestling in general, but then meeting a wrestler was cool, and like becoming friends with a wrestler was cool, and then he was into nerdy stuff like Justice League, and like we were talking like anime and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. And then he was like, you want to come over and hang out with me? I was like, what? And then like I went over his place, and like I was like, yeah, look at all this awesome nerdy stuff, and I was like, yo, you should check out all my nerdy stuff. I got a whole bunch too. And then he came over, and then next you know, we were like, we're best friends. And then like and then like I guess eventually years later I helped out with advertising because I'm a graphic designer too. So like I did some advertising stuff and some artwork for Eric. And eventually I was on one of the pay-per-views. I remember that. That was me, and like who was in there? It was like me, Jarvis.
It was crazy. That was
it was wild. But like being a part of a pay-per-view and like running out like from the like behind the curtain like on into the ring and all that stuff was awesome. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then like we continued to stay friends, and like our families know each other. Like, and I started building events in Philly, and he was always there supporting them. I created music festivals in Philadelphia.
Really? Wow.
I created the cosplay prom, which
yes, you did.
in a gymnasium in Philadelphia. Like I wanted it to be like a legit prom. Like it was like balloons, streamers, a DJ, like pizzas and sodas and all that stuff, so that people who missed out on their like prom because they felt they didn't fit in, or because they were too nerdy or whatever, that whole scene.
Oh, wow.
Everybody has their reason. I created this like outlet, and it just kind of like built from there. And then I was a huge fan of Joe. Like that was like, I was like, what? Meet like her, because she's like a big time cosplayer. I don't know what to say to her. And then like I contacted her, and she was willing to be
he was like, can I touch her hand? Can I just touch her hand?
yeah, right?
I hugged him, and like
Joe, does he still geek out on you all the time?
Yeah, yes I do.
Like, who doesn't geek out on Joe? Oh my God! I guess I'm one of the only ones that are like, yeah, it's just Joe. You know.
Oh my God!
I take it you got it.
Just hug them awkwardly. So like Eric, I'll just hug, and he'll be like, "Okay, we're done." And I was like, "No, not yet." It's gonna get awkward.
And it's funny because like people will see like the three of us like at conventions hanging out, and they're freaking out that the three of us are standing next to each other like talking, and we're like, oh no, like we're going to the burger joint later. Like
PJ, I take it.
I saw it. Holy crap! That was awesome. All right.
I gotta say, I know that Jason and I can never do a 1 hour interview together, like alone.
No.
Why?
It digresses extremely quickly. Like there's a cliff, and then we just go.
And it just becomes madness. Like
madness and shenanigans and laughing.
I gotta say, guys, you guys have really been bringing it tonight, and I appreciate it, and the chat appreciates it. And let's play this as we wrap things up. Let's play this this special treat. That
all right, everyone. Here's the exclusive.
All right. Wow.
Test footage.
You guys are gonna love this. Now it's short, but it's so sweet, guys. It's so sweet. Watch. All right. When you say go, I'll press.
Jason, be honest.
Go.
Wow.
And
it's amazing, guys.
And we actually have we started working on like different angles, different adding new stuff to it, because there's a lot of details.
Look at
that we didn't add in this version until like this is you guys don't understand. This is bland. This is dry compared to what I
every time I see it.
And when I say this is like we made this into a workable 3D space, like we can turn the camera wherever we want. If we put stars and a sun, it will reflect onto the ship.
Yep.
Like we have it, like it is like a fully functioning 3D ship.
Wow. Yes, it does look great, guys. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. Great job, guys. It looks like the crew at the with Tom Costantino put that together.
Yeah, like we're bringing it. Like
We want them to a point where they're like, holy, wait a second, these guys are not playing.
Wow, what a treat! What a treat!
yeah,
Wow, guys.
we're trying to do some really cool stuff, but within, I mean, we have.
Sorry, Joe. Every time I put up a message, I block you out.
Oh, what was that?
Every time I put up a message, I block Joe out.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
We have there's a lot of cool things that as a director I want to do with this that will give us a sense of like, wow, these guys are really trying to bring it like visually, like with the storytelling and everything. And with the writing on top of that and the acting, there's nothing like it's pretty awesome, time is the one thing that is our biggest problem. Is right now a lot of us can't leave our house. There's I see a comment down there about hitting quantum. Yeah, it's cool looking. But like it's with time, and right now no one can leave the house. It's hard to travel and get. There's so many locations that we have and I have access to. Like I have access to a lot of locations because I've done commercials for other people, and like now they owe me a favor. So we have tons of locations, but they're all closed down right now because it's dangerous out there for people's health.
Wow, guys, let me ask you guys before, because we've had you on for 3 hours and it's been such a treat. Let me ask you guys, there's any final thoughts that you guys want to share with us? Joe, is there any final thoughts you want to share?
I thought I was on mute. Thank you for all the love and support. Watch it, share it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come on here and talk about the series and give a few tidbits and sneak peeks to the next stuff that we're doing. And we appreciate everything. Especially the love and support. Like, this is a labor of love, and getting feedback and seeing all the comments has been like an amazing. So thank you.
Wow. You know what? You just came to my mind while Joe was talking. I was thinking that one thing really cool that you guys could do with this little piece of footage is you guys could make a GIF or a GIF, whatever people call it, and people could use it on and share it on social media instead of the Orville with the Eisenberg.
Yeah, I think if we were to do that, I'd have to talk to not with I'm gonna sit down with the FX crew and then see what we have to do with because I know one of the things is like I had the font changed to match the actual Orville font, like stuff like little details. There's tracking lights. There's all kinds of stuff that we added on there, and So I want to, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil it for people and give them the glitz and glamour ahead of time. You know, it's a weird.
We're going to be showing this Wednesday as a sneak peek of things to come this Wednesday, because every Wednesday we try to show something new in the works and everything else. And so since we're giving you guys the exclusive, this way people can tune in to make sure they tune in and support.
On Wednesday, right?
Yeah, this Wednesday we do it on Twitter. We try to post something new to keep everyone in focus and keep everyone up to date. We're going to be making announcements for cast. We got so much stuff coming up, so many announcements, and then it follows right after our thing on. We do like we were thinking about doing something live on Wednesday, but this right here, it's perfect. So we don't have to do it on Wednesday, but this lines up when we make an announcement on Twitter, and then JP does Egotastic Fun Time Thursday. So, and he's talking to Orville. So again, we're trying to make it where every other day or every day you're talking about something dealing with Orville, whether it's fan films, whether it's the show, what the stars are up to, what the cast is up to, what the crew is up to. We want to keep that interest going, and we want more people to talk about the Orville. You know,
guys, everybody, make sure that you're following Eric on Twitter, okay? And also make sure I'm also putting up Joe's and Jason's. Make sure you're following all of them on Twitter. Jason, any final thoughts for
I just want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, everybody that's here, just enjoying the panel, like our the whole show. Like, this is awesome to see so many people actually, interacting and showing that they're passionate about this, and they care, and they like what we're doing. They're, wow. Like, thank you all so much. Just share this with share the videos with as many people as you can. Feel free to comment, watch that making of, then, so you can get more of like our personalities and how weird and how much we get along. And I think I probably will try and put together, like, I know it sounds silly, but like a 5-minute, like how I did the making of, do like a little tiny snippet thing where it's kind of like the office of like behind the scenes of like each episode. And I might like it. Yes, it'll eat me alive, like, to do that, edit, overlook the CG and special effects, and but I want to, because I think it'd just be funny, because we say a lot of like really weird stuff when we get together, especially me and Joe. Like,
when you look at the making of a Planetary stuff, you'll see exactly what Jason's talking about. It's funny.
Okay. I'm also putting in, I think everybody in here is, if you're not following JP Egotastic on Twitter, please follow him as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and follow, because I'm good. You'll see all of us on each other's shows. Like, I have a show, J1 Up, that's on the J1 Studios YouTube channel, and I did an interview that I still haven't gone through and edited with Joe, and one with Eric. So, like, you could learn about all of our other projects that we do. Like, we are always busy. We are so busy.
Eric's gonna be so proud of me. I finally made a YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I've been getting on her. She's doing all this other content. And I'm like,
have you put content on it, Joe?
I haven't. I finished making it today, so I'm gonna start putting up content.
About time.
Do you want to give us the link so people can sub?
Sure.
You want to put it in the private chat? All right, she's gonna get her first. She's gonna get her first 20 subs right now.
Oh my god! I haven't put anything up.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody's gonna sub right now once he gives us the.
I'm just gonna make. There's gonna be just a video one day. I'm just gonna make a video of like me washing my feet or something, and it's like hope that people will like it.
Hi.
Wow, that's very. Hey.
I'll sing. I'll sing while I do it. You know, give you something else. You know?
Great. We have Joe the cosplayer. Is it also going to be called Joe Colton cosplay?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. So guys, everybody, when we're done here or before we're done, go and sub to Joe.
And then you can actually see you can see all the commercials, all the Cartoon Network commercials of the past few years with Eric in it. You can see him as one. There's like M. Bison, there's Thanos.
Wait, Jason, you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Can you put it in the private
I think
chat?
somebody else posted it already.
Oh, which one is it? Because
J1 Studios is. I see a Twitter for J1 Studios and just J1 Studios as well.
I have several links, but I don't know which is your YouTube. Can you tell me which one is your YouTube?
I can send that.
And
the one that's commenting. You guys can subscribe to that. Bam! YouTube.com.
Oh, okay, here it is. It's okay, so it's in the comments. Okay. Thank you, Mando. J1 Studios. Great.
Yeah, Mando.
Thank you. Eric, any final thoughts for before while we wrap up?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you, PJ, for having us on Orville Nation.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you so much. This is like the most fun I've had next to filming with the guys and everything. But everyone out there, the whole idea that, again, while we're doing this, we're doing it for the love of the Orville, for the fans, by the fans. We want to encourage others out there to do fan films dealing with the Orville, tell your story. There's so many stories and opportunities to be there to encourage everyone. Support the show. Most importantly, support the show. Support Seth MacFarlane, the cast, the crew, because they're putting their hearts and soul into the show.
They are, yeah.
It's coming back. Season 3 is coming back. We're hoping towards the end of this year on Hulu. I'm already signed up for season 3. We're planning on really answering a lot of the fans who requested certain things that they would like to see. Please continue to love, share, share with your neighbor, your cat, your next door neighbor's dog, share with the whole entire world. Spread the word. Also spread the word. Also spread the word about Orville Nation, Eagle-tastic Fun Time. All these great people that are showing love in the Orville community. It's a positive environment. It's an environment that we need to see more of. In a world of craziness, this is one of the few places that you can go to where everyone feels like they're at the playground and everyone's having fun. And that's what it's all about. We're doing it for the love. We're doing this for what we feel and how things should be. So again, I want to thank everyone that showed the love and support. Continue to show the love and support. Thank you to Tom and all the executive producers, the FX designers, and everyone that showed the love and support for our series. Thank you to Chris Cross, Angela McKendrick for the art, for them doing our posters. Thank you to Series Photo, John Royster. Thank you guys, and to everyone else.
Jason Griffin.
That's right, and Jason Griffin. Thank you to everyone else that supported us and believe in us. And we have so much more to come, and we have so much more of the story to unfold. You guys are going to be very pleasantly surprised.
Guys, how cool.
Orville,
finish, Eric. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, PJ.
No, I was just going to say, when I was listening to you talk, how cool is it that we're still in the infancy of this fandom, and who knows where it's going to go? I mean, isn't that it's like seeing the whole thing. Like we know what it was like for Star Trek, but we're seeing the whole thing come to life. Isn't it amazing?
We're living in the time of the infancy of the Orville. in one hand, am I glad that there was rumor that Seth MacFarlane was going to Spice Trek, and it would have been interesting, but I'm kind of glad that he's doing his own thing and he's telling his own story in his own way and creating his own universe, because then you can do whatever you want and you won't have people nitpicking and being too high end about it. They're like, wow, these guys are telling great stories, and that's what it's all about. That's what Orville is all about.
Now,
Wow.
I'm going to try and add some of that into the J1 stuff. Like we have like creating like places, like as I'm doing the rebranding of the convention, adding more stuff, like more fan discussions. That's one of the things that drive our panel area for my convention, is like fan panels and stuff like that. And like even having you figure out a way to get you come out.
Yep.
I'd love to.
You're not far. We could do an Orville Nation panel. Like,
Well, there's something I have to talk to you about, Jason. That's why I brought it up before. So we will talk. And I gotta say, guys, you guys are so freaking interesting, the three of you. And I would like to I've already extended to Joe. I'd like to extend the invitation for each of you to come back individually so we can go in depth on all your projects. I think it would be amazing content for our followers.
So game.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm coming to the Doctor Who thing for you on Friday.
That's right. We got Eric the Smoke Moran on that. You want to see who you're up against? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna show you.
Oh,
This is when I need to contact Brian Terranova too. Woo! Brian would really kill at this.
This is who you're up against. This is who you got. Actually, she is feisty, and she knows her Doctor Who. This is one of our co-hosts, Katie, the
I had
Starfleet
to double check. I
meteorologist.
thought that was Joe, because Joe does she does the Doctor also. And I'm like, wait a second,
Really?
Joe, is that your stunt double? Wait, it's not. Okay.
Oh, do you have one of you do this too,
oh yeah,
Joe?
yeah.
Oh wow, awesome. Well, you're gonna have to share that with us next time you're with us.
When you get a chance, go to my YouTube page and check out my Doctor Who series, Torchwood Legacy or Doctor Who Legacy.
Gotcha.
And it's the Doctor as the 10th Doctor when they meet Torchwood, and not the current Torchwood, but the new Torchwood that takes place in the U.S. It's a whole new thing.
Wow. Awesome. I will definitely check that out, Eric, and we'll be in touch. Guys, I want to thank you for one of the best interviews we've done on our channel. It was one of the most pleasurable interviews we've had. These 3 hours have flown by for me and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. I'm vibing. I'm enjoying it. I'll be back.
All right, guys. So thank you, Lady Q, DJ, Pflugerville, Fordian, Lydia, Steph, Captain Robert, Mando, everybody's still with us. Midwest Orvillian, hello. DJ, everybody who's been Lady Q, everybody who's been with us, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have an amazing night. Stay safe. And we will be back tomorrow with Project Abaddon, the producer for the Project Abaddon film, and Kat. And tomorrow's going to be another great day on our 2K week. So thank you guys. You guys all have a great night. Thank you again, Eric, Joe, and Jason. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.